What's up, gang?
Hey, Vinny.
What's up? Good to have you guys here.
Good to be here.
Well, that's in unison. That's cool. We got a cool situation here where Sila brought some socks. Some old socks. So we're going to be doing some puppets.
Yeah.
Let's do that shit immediately, dude.
Sweet.
Yay.
I'm pretty enthusiastic.
Everybody
about
pick
it.
a sock.
I'm a bit scared of the glue gun. I'll say that the people with smaller hands should take the ankle socks.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'll
Due
take this
to-
baby
Oh, then
blue.
I'm
Yeah, definitely not me.
I'm
so
being
I'm gonna
problematic.
Big, probably socks.
You want the...
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Donuts. Oh, these are like yeah.
And
Donuts.
be careful with the hot glue and the holes. That they
Oh, yeah,
have.
so I would say maybe don't hot glue it while it's on your hand.
Yeah.
But while it's on your hand, feel free to... I don't know. You know how puppets
I
work.
guess you have to place it.
I actually don't think I do.
I think as we start to build them, we can determine their relationships with each other, but we need to see
Oh,
who they
yeah.
become first.
Absolutely.
Wait, can I already glue?
Yeah, I haven't started. You know, I didn't plug this in, so start. You want to glue something immediately? You got an
Yeah.
idea?
I want to
Yeah,
do
I-
eyes first.
Oh shit!
We
Yeah, so
gotta
we
get
got
some
we got
eyes on
googly
this
eyes.
I
We got
want to
pom
lead
poms.
with the soul.
You wanna?
Once I can look it in the eyes, it can tell me who he is.
Okay, so
Are
actually,
wait, are all the Google guys the same?
there's different sizes. So
fuck.
it's really small ones. There's really big
Oh,
ones.
shit.
Oh, I'm gonna mix and match.
Wait, I was thinking that too.
I'll introduce my guests once they have their puppets, and I'll introduce them by their puppets.
Oh.
I had just made that up just now. The plug is actually behind you on that floor there. You want to see if you can? Well, it just has to be the plug part, and I'll keep the gun over here. Does that reach?
Oh yeah.
Does anyone
Okay,
have a
nice.
super tiny eye?
Great. This is gonna get hot right here. This is the glue gun placement thingy.
Wait, I kind of had a crazy
Once it
idea.
starts to smell weird, that's when we get gluing.
Awesome.
I'm thinking
Fucking.
4 eyes.
That's awesome. And then if it gets
That-
glasses,
wait,
they
that's
call
great.
him
I love
Eight
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you need to start with the eyes, and then that really, once you know his or her character, then you can the eyes really tell you a lot about where to go
Yeah.
with it. You know?
You gotta get the gateway to the soul.
Exactly.
Are there holes in some of these socks? Because that's like.
Yeah, there definitely are.
I mean, they've lived a full life.
I'm trying to think if I have any specific
Oh, I kinda-
anecdotes
yeah, I
in
guess I
these
don't-
socks.
Oh yeah. No, wait until it smells weird. Yeah.
Oh, word.
Jump
Wait
Yeah.
until it smells.
Word.
He jumped the
Alright.
gun.
I like this. This is probably the brand, but it's just donuts, and then it says Coney.
Wait, like Coney
Like,
2012?
Yeah, literally exactly like Coney 2012.
Do you guys remember how that was like actually fake and he's in jail?
Yeah.
Wait, I thought it was.
Distinctly.
He had like a
What was
pretty big
like the- what do you
meltdown.
mean?
Oh well, that yeah.
Oh,
that-
the
Ran
guy
through
who
the street
organized
naked
it.
or something?
yes, I
he-
remember that very very well.
And I might be wrong, but I don't think it was necessarily that it was intended to be fake, but that they got so in over their heads when they got on Oprah and they got so much more money. Yeah, they got a mention on Oprah, I think was how it became super viral. And then it was this small nonprofit that had basically just been started. And so the man running it, the pressure of like suddenly having to deal with all this money and like not really having an effective plan to deal with Joseph Coney meant that the money was mishandled. And then he had like a complete mental breakdown, and then he did run around in the street naked.
This is
Wow.
like
Oh my
when
God.
girls blow up on YouTube too young, and then it's like Zoella's like, I just wanted to date Alfie. Like, I never
Totally.
wanted to be in Target.
It's also such an amazing example of how people do not fact check
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Coney was like for real.
He was a real bad
that
guy.
guy doing real bad stuff.
Yes, but I think the thing was that
the-
was like
The
so-
money couldn't have done anything. It's just like
Yeah, like how does the money stop?
Well, no, I think what it was that. So this guy was like a film student, and then was like, I want to make a difference. And this is like 2006, and he started this project in like, I'm making it up, but like a long 2006. And Coney was really bad, but by the time he finished his movie, they kind of had like dealt with him mostly.
Oh, shit.
So like, it wasn't really that bit. So like, people in it was it was Uganda, right? I can't remember.
so.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
like it shows what we know about Coney. But like, or I forget. But anyways, the severity of the problem had gotten much less, and he was kind of like, it wasn't that big of a issue anymore, and so they were like. The people on the ground were like, we have like 1,000 other things that are way more important than this right now. And then like every celebrity in the world was, at least that's what I remember about
Do
it.
you think Stop Coney would blow up now? Like in our current political
Oh,
climate.
like the comparable thing, or like we
Yeah.
could
Or like-
finally deal with it once and for all.
Do you think we
yeah, yeah, it's about time.
No, like could a Stop Coney like viral campaign blow up today?
I don't think so.
I don't
Here's the
think
thought.
so.
I think it was the peak of like Obama era neoliberal hubris.
Yeah.
Because it was 2012, so it was like the middle of Obama's
Yeah.
entire presidency,
It was the
and like
first
we
and
were.
purest example of that.
The first and purest.
It really was like everybody thought we'd solved everything wrong with America.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, let's think about Coney now.
You know Maslow's hierarchy? It's like we were like, all right, we're done self-actualization. Now it's
Yeah.
time to do transcendence to others or something.
Little did we know what would happen in 2025.
I think they were like literally like, look at the power of Facebook for good. Like they were
Yeah.
like, look what Facebook can do.
Oh, wow.
It's working. It's solving problems. Facebook.
Yeah.
Like-
I feel like Stop Coney inspired Russia.
yeah.
I'm gonna need you to. Oh, you mean like okay? That's
Like
okay,
like
that
20,
connects.
Russia 2016. Yeah. They were like, let's think back.
They saw the power of the hashtag.
Yeah.
I feel
That's how
like
Facebook
it had
is
it had a
infiltration.
really good pop song.
What?
Did it?
Like the 2-minute video about Coney to like really get people excited was like an epic, like
Yeah.
it was kind of like Christian pop, like church, like you can change the world, like but it's got a beat, so it was like
Really?
attractive.
I don't remember
Yeah.
this. I
Whoa.
just remember the shirts and like the signage.
Oh,
Like,
it
remember
had a
it was-
drum. It had to be. I remember being like, "Wow, this really is powerful."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe more movements should have like a specific song that slaps. You know what I
I
mean?
think they're really trying to do that.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Pete Buttigieg
the-
High Hopes? And then you
Yeah.
just have this crowd of
Wasn't it just like the Macarena?
white people dancing to Panic at the Disco or whatever it was. I think it doesn't totally play.
Let's see what's happening here.
Buttigieg should have written his own song.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think
Also, his husband
Whoa, look
is
at that.
famously musical theater. So
Oh,
he
yeah.
could have. Chasten
Pete
Buttigieg is a
Buttigieg's
musical
husband's
theater
musical
head.
theater?
That's
Yes,
a little
so-
weird.
Not like professionally, but he's such a musical theater head.
Watch out, that one's
Guy.
liquid
It
right there.
could have been done.
Fuck! Sorry, I have a
I don't know
syndrome.
if I'm as up to date
Um,
about Chasten as
Yeah,
you are.
we got an eye ready to go here.
I
You
did
got
not
something
know
ready to go
about
here?
that.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
ready.
I'm
I'll
just
do a
gonna
little of the
see
glue
where-
in. I'll
I'm
try
gonna
to
see where these
avoid that.
Sharpies take me while the Google
Yeah, you wanna do it?
glue gun.
Get in,
is-
get in there.
Oh, God.
Watch out, this is wet right
Lost
here.
a curl.
And I don't know, yeah. And then watch
You know
out for
what?
the
I
hot
know-
chocolate.
I know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. Okay.
You could feel free, whoever that is, you can feel free to put it on that shelf if you want to.
You're gonna empower me to put it on that shelf.
You can.
instead.
You don't worry about my knickknacks and all the bullshit. There's also more bullshit if we wanted to rope it into the.
Oh my God! Wait,
Crafts,
it's not really
doesn't
coming
matter.
out at all.
Oh wait, point it so
Oh.
it's like.
We might need
Oh,
another stick
down.
of glue. It's almost out.
Oh yeah. You want to get another?
Hurry, girl.
Hold on.
Hurry. It's gonna dry. Girl, I'm
Oh,
nervous.
wait, stop. You
Okay,
gotta-
stop.
It's like continue to pump it.
Oh, I see.
See, it's there's
Oh.
only a little
I
left.
don't
I think
think
you gotta
so.
push a new one in.
Yeah. Do we have? Hold
Is
on.
it over here?
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's. I think it's where you just put the hot chocolate. There's a bunch of them right behind. There it is.
What a handy
There
thing.
it is.
Okay.
Nice.
But girl,
Like,
this
just like
one's
this?
gonna dry
Yeah.
out. You gotta stick the eye on
Oh.
that one.
Oh, you're right. Fuck.
I'm so
But
stressed.
girl, hurry.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so for
Okay.
people listening on audio, a good
Whoa.
eye was just sat on the above the glue.
It's giving very Monsters Inc.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so Are
Yeah.
you thinking Cyclops
Oh,
or you're?
it's too big. I'm sorry. The glob
Do
of
you want me to
glue
hold?
is too big for the size of eye I've chosen. And
That's
there's
okay.
a beautiful metaphor there.
Oh, yeah, that's a really good Monsters Inc. you're doing.
Oh fuck.
I love the we've all seen Monsters Inc. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end where they're like, yeah, now we do stand-up comedy. You guys remember that? That's how it ends.
Well, you know what? At Disney World, there's like the laughing studio where like the green guy has to do stand-up comedy, and that's the ride.
That's the end. Yeah, that's the end of the movie.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah,
he's really good at it.
Is he really?
Is his name Mike Rogowski?
Mike Wazowski.
Wazowski.
Yeah.
Mike Wazowski. My mom loves that ride. Like loves. She's like, let's go sit in the room. He's gonna be so silly. And I'm like, I think he'd love improv comedy. That's all that's happening.
Where is it at?
It's in Tomorrowland in the Magic Kingdom in Orlando,
So your
Florida.
mom's favorite comedian is the Mike Wazowski at.
Yes.
That's.
She's like, this
Respect.
guy eats it up
Respect.
every time.
Yeah, he crushes.
It's got to be tough. Like, don't you hate where you do a show and they don't tell the bar that you're performing?
Oh.
An ambush show. That's
my
what they're doing
God.
at the end of Mike Wazowski coming into your room at night. You're like, fucking goddamn it, I'm trying to sleep.
No, but they're all psyched. That's like a Mike Wazowski drop-in. Like, oh, he's here! He's here!
You and I did a horrible. We did.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
We did an ambush show together not too long
That
ago.
was you're exactly right.
Awful.
You said it was an ambush show?
Ambush show. The crowd. Well, I think
It was
they,
a very interesting because we were ambushing the street because it
Yes.
was in the summer and it was open to the street and there was like it's a small bar so there weren't that many people in the bar. But the street was busy and everything was open, so and the mics were really loud, and so it was sort of people walking by, and we ambushed the city.
Yes.
Well,
yeah.
you know what? Chapel Roan did that with Pink Pony Club in the park in LA, and look at her now. You know what?
Yeah, that's true. That's
It
what
could
I
all
was
turn
doing.
around.
Guys,
That's also what I was
it's a
doing.
baby boy.
Whoa! I love that.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I like that.
Oh my goodness.
Really nice.
Do you have scissors, Benny?
Yeah. They're similar shelf back that way. The red one's gonna be good for
Okay.
our purposes here. Shit. Fuck. Yeah. You guys ever do a horrible ambush show?
It feels like all of them are.
Yeah.
That was a particularly bad one.
Well, actually, I did that room again, and Natalie Rotter-Lateman was there, and this guy, some Manhattan comic, basically there's this group of people who are outside sitting at that outside table, and they were chatting because they were just there for the bar, and he tore into them. He's like, "Shut the fuck up!" He was like, he called them bitches and whatnot, and he was like, he said it was so bad that he was like, "We need to get a muzzle on you."
Oh my god.
And shout out to Natalie, she went up right after and she was like, "That guy's the worst, right?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, because not only was he being rude, he was objectively wrong about what normal behavior is.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
are uninvited. They come here probably a lot.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm gonna broaden that idea too. Sometimes I feel like I see people do crowd work or something where I'm like, "Oh, you are way overreacting and overstepping." I don't know. How do you guys feel?
I feel like all crowd work is like, you're a dentist, and it's like, whoa. It is just they'll say anything, and they'll be like, that's so fucking stupid and crazy. And is it? Or are they just a teacher?
One time it was an Asian show in Chinatown, and I got really hot glue on my thumb.
You okay? At the show or just now?
Right now. That's okay.
Always,
But this
yeah.
is gonna be. Oh my god, no.
Sila, no.
This is gonna be so worth it. Okay. So, anyways, we did the show. It was truly all Asian audience except for one white guy in the front. So obviously everyone was going in on him, and he got actually pissed by the end. But then it was kind of a lose-lose situation for him because he was also the only white guy at the Asian show, and he was getting pissed. So now he's the angry only white guy at the Asian show. But I did feel bad for him because I was like, everyone is going after you, and that because it's so easy. But I was like, maybe we should stop. And then one person towards the end tried to finally make amends with him on behalf of sort of everyone who had gone before him on the lineup, and he was not having it. He was not talking to him at all, and was being.
He was
I was
not ready
at
to
that
make
point, I was honestly, sure, yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of a time where I've seen someone get crowd worked on where they really got visibly or vocally upset. I'm trying to think of a time when that happened, but
I feel like I've seen people have contentious relationships.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah.
And when they try to be funny.
Yeah.
I once went to a show in LA during COVID on a first date, and the guy was like, he was being kind of offensive, and I was like front row, one drink in, like not laughing. Like I was being like a rude audience member because I was like, this is bad for women. I hate you. And he was like, why are you frowning? And I literally was like, cause you're being problematic. And then like we had this whole like riff. I of course never heard from the date again. But it's like I ended up being like drunk aggressive towards the comic, being like, you shouldn't stand on the stage and say that about them. Like that woman is fine and stop making fun of her.
That's awesome. That rules.
Then,
I like that you did that.
But then
awesome.
after the show, I run into him in the street. I'm crossing the street as he is in his car, and he's like, I'm really sorry I upset you. Like, I'm just a really sad, lonely guy. And I was like, that's okay.
That's not an excuse.
I was like so in shock that I was like, that's okay. I'm sorry that I was acting so aggressive. And he was like, it's okay. And then he drove away. And then I was like, I gotta get out of LA.
Yeah, I gotta get to New York. One time I did a really small bar show where like it was just like not a lot of people there, and I showed up and the other comics showed up, and like halfway through the first person's set, these two men entered from a door that I to this day cannot figure out how they entered from, because it like leads to an employees only area. They entered, they sat down, and then they interrupted the comic to go.
Wait, I want to pause you real quick, Amelia. Be careful.
Okay.
I don't want you to get the glue on your. Sorry. I think you did a little bit there. Watch out. See that? It makes the lines coming off. Okay. Sorry. I'm gonna interrupt the story.
I'm fighting
just like,
fire with fire.
Okay. Sorry about that. This fella came in through a door.
The two guys came in through this door, and I don't understand how they got in through that entrance, or why they were at the comedy show, or how they found out about the show. Because the first thing they said, they interrupted the first comic and then just said, "We don't speak great English. We're Italian." And then
That's a really good excuse, actually.
yeah. But then like every comic that went up, they would sort of like actively be asking the comic like, "Wait, what does that word mean? What do you mean?" And they were so close, and there were not enough people in the room for it to be obvious to someone who hadn't been to a show before that wasn't appropriate.
Oh, that's so fun.
And they basically just asked for basic vocab at a certain point.
Wow. I do think it's sometimes fun to have, or I'm not a crowd work person at all, but it's a skill I want to practice, but it's so hard to find an environment in which that feels acceptable or okay.
Yeah.
So sometimes when someone's like a dumb heckler, it can be fun.
Yeah.
This is hot. I told Amelia to be careful, and now I'm.
Yeah, you told
And now
Amelia
I'm
to be
getting
careful,
caught-
and then you're like
Sorry.
moving the hot glue with your
I
hands.
know.
I'm like
okay.
all
I still
love
want you to
Benny,
get-
but I kind of professionally was a hot glue gunner
Are you really?
in school.
Were you a big? I was a big crafter. You a big crafter?
I was just like, I
just
went
don't want you
crazy
to get
for
on your pants.
homecoming mums.
Oh my god. Well, this is something I think only
Yeah,
we'll
do you-
know.
do you guys know about this?
What
About
is it?
moms?
Homecoming
So
moms?
in Texas, for like the high school homecoming football game, there's this thing where you make mums for your significant other.
It's short for chrysanthemum, and it's this big fake flower that at the homecoming game you pin to your homecoming date's chest, and she has to wear it, and like they go crazy. They can be the size of a person with like teddy bears and flowers attached.
What the heck?
Like
Oh.
it usually would just be like kind of like maybe the size of a fist with some ribbons hanging off, but like everything's bigger in Texas, and it's
Yeah.
kind of like like, does your man care about you, or like
Yeah,
do
yeah.
you care about like
Whoa.
whatever?
a-
Like do they care if you live or die? And it's like if they give you like scrawny one that only
It's
costs
embarrassing.
$40, it's like, oh, you should kill yourself.
Yeah.
But then girls end up wearing like them, instead of being pinned on, they wear giant like
Oh, yeah, necklaces.
and they weigh like 40 50
Like
pounds
Flavor
of like
Flav.
ribbons and
Yeah.
glitter and like teddy bears, and it's like, my boyfriend loves me.
Well, and then it's like it's supposed to be a sign that your date likes you, but obviously his mom made it. You know, like obviously his mom made it and bought it for him because she wanted a bigger mom when she was a high schooler in
Oh,
Texas.
wow.
So now
Was was your school like all the girls would give them to each other too?
No, but I didn't go to a co-ed school. So it was like if you
Oh.
hung out with the boys' school, you got a mum. And there were a lot of girls that didn't want to do that and were not in
Oh,
that
I think that's-
homecoming
oh, fuck.
culture, I feel like.
Yeah, I think I
Got
fucked it
it.
up.
Yeah. So I didn't ever make them.
Oh shit, it's hot. Oh.
But I
we
got
made them, and it was like
so
for
hot.
friend groups. So you'd have
Oh.
to make like 8 or something.
great.
And then it's like, oh, you're literally a loser with no friends if you have less than 5 mums on that day.
Oh, of course.
It was intense down there.
Yeah, there's a lot of status symbols, and many are craft based.
Legit.
So you come from a craft background.
I come all this to say, I come from a craft culture.
My culture really values crafting. Yeah.
I learned about hot glue's power when I was very young.
Yeah.
At my school, at my college, they had there was like a big Greek life, and they had like the old school like pinning thing with like couples, like pre-engagement stuff. And so you'd see like you walk out on the quad like, oh, these people got pinned, and it was like a whole thing. And my roommate was this really cynical guy from Georgia, the country. And he, the nation of Georgia, Tbilisi. And
They have that?
Oh yeah.
The nation of Georgia?
Did you guys all know about the nation of Georgia?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful culture. I actually visited a few months ago. I can
Cool.
tell you all about it. We can do.
I've never heard of that.
Don't tempt me. I'll
in my
derail this
life.
whole podcast. Like, do not tempt me.
Where is it?
Right next to Azerbaijan and Armenia, south of Russia, the Caucasus.
Oh, wow.
The Caucasus
It's like
Mountains.
Russia keeps. It's like Russia keeps taking them.
So it's
like they
cool.
Russia.
That's
It's
the
like kind of like
politics.
a,
Yeah. I won't get political about the geopolitical integrity of Georgia's borders. But my roommate was from Georgia, and he's like, what's going on? And someone was like, oh yeah, they're doing like pinning, and he was like, pinning, what's that? You like love somebody and you give them your PIN number? I love that. That is a real
That'd be cool
sign of love.
too.
Yeah. So you give them like your PIN number.
One of my oldest, closest friends, she is now a cybersecurity consultant in the 6th grade, put her phone number in my phone, and then you know how the contact has different options where you can do address, birthday, notes. They used to have a thing that was social security number, and I remember her going, oh well, I know mine, I'll give you that too. And she put her social security number in her contact in my phone. And I had that for so long. And she fully is like a cybersecurity consultant now. And
Oh, wow.
sometimes I'll be like, remember when you gave me your social security number?
For where?
PwC used to be, but
Aren't they the ones
It's
who
a
do the
consulting firm.
Oscars? Like, aren't they the people who fucked up the Oscars? Remember
they
that?
might be.
La La
Wait,
Land?
what went wrong
No.
with the Oscars?
When they
nothing.
gave
The
it wrong
movies I wanted to
envelope
win
a few
didn't
years
win.
ago, and they said it was La La Land and it wasn't.
Yeah,
I thought
because
they
the
read that
envelope,
wrong.
they fucked up the envelope.
Oh,
And
I
that-
thought it was a reading issue.
No, he was given the wrong envelope, and then
Oh,
it
yeah,
was
'cause it's
because
Emma
there's like a consulting firm that's in charge of
Maybe it was your
counting
friend.
the votes. Yeah, maybe it was my friend.
Yeah.
Counting the votes and delivering it in a suitcase and giving them the right one. I think there was something about reading it, but they were also given the wrong card.
They were given, it was like Emma Stone Best Actress.
Right.
For
Oh,
Best
that's what it was.
Picture.
They gave them a card for a different award. So instead of it being the card for Best Picture, it's the card for Best Actress. So they read La La Land off the card. That's what,
It's so cool when it was like that and the Ellen celebrity selfie, and that was what we had
Yeah.
up to.
We're coming back to Coney 2012 a little bit.
Yeah. I long for the mid 2010s pop culture.
I was very sheltered growing up. I wasn't really allowed to watch TV, and so once I was able to learn about pop culture, I devoured it. I truly believe there's an A to B on me not being allowed to watch SpongeBob and me knowing the name of every Kardashian grandchild.
Was it no TV, or were they or did you have
PBS
cable?
Kids.
Here's actually the crazy thing is that my parents were very worried specifically about the TV that was for my age group. So I wasn't allowed to watch Disney Channel because they said it would make me rude. And I wasn't allowed to watch Nickelodeon because they said it would make me stupid. So they were like, you can watch the TV that we grew up with, which means that I haven't seen much of Sweet Life on Deck or whatever, but I've seen every episode of The Brady Bunch and The Cosby Show.
That's sick.
So I was allowed to watch every episode of The Cosby Show.
And what lessons did that teach you? I don't think I've ever seen a full episode of The Cosby Show. The only one I've seen is the one where Herbie Hancock teaches him how to use the synthesizer. Did you see that one? Jamming on the one?
I don't know. If I did.
You
That
gotta
looks
get up
insane.
on your Cosby Show. Even saying from someone who's only seen one.
The one episode.
Yeah,
There are many seasons of it.
I haven't seen
Yeah,
a single
it was on for a
episode.
long time.
I've not seen it. I also was not allowed to watch Disney Channel because my mom thought that it would make me only talk about boys, and I also wasn't allowed to have Barbies for.
I also wasn't allowed
I
to
wasn't
have
allowed to
Barbies.
have brats because they were sluts.
Yeah.
Quote my mother.
yeah. No, I mean, absolutely. I wasn't allowed to have Barbies
That's
or
yours.
brats. My mother, in a very polite way, did say basically the same thing.
And now we're finally making our own.
Yeah.
This is
Oh yeah, thank
I
you.
wasn't allowed to do craft-based puppetry growing up because they were too slutty.
Wow.
Should they all-
Whoa, okay. Look at these. Oh my god,
Okay.
you've been sharpening yours. You could
Yeah.
do a damn.
Yeah,
we got a tie. We got a
has
suit and tie.
He has to dress up for work, but he
Oh my
gets a little
God.
fun with
And
it.
your fingers are top.
Let's introduce our guest this week, folks. I'm the host. I'm the host of the podcast. The Marge Simpson's Fetus. Something like that. That would. You can just introduce yourselves and also or your puppet, whichever.
Okay.
Hello. Who do we got here?
This is Bogo. This is his tongue.
Buy one get one.
Oh, a tongue. That's good.
That is good.
I love that. Oh my goodness.
Really good.
What's-
And this
Speaking of the mic.
Sorry.
Sorry.
This is Sila. And that's Bogo talking.
Mine's a baby.
Whoa.
And he wants everyone to just say baby because he doesn't pick a name. He's only 15 minutes old.
Oh my goodness.
So he's a baby.
God.
And I'm Audrey.
Hey guys, I'm Amelia. I don't really think I know about the anatomy of sock puppet because I can't open its mouth. I could just close its forehead. I'm gonna call this Crystal Light.
Crystal Light.
I'm Kyle Gordon, and this is my puppet. His name is Brian Kerwin.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
What do all the puppets do for a living? I feel like this one has a job.
Yeah.
This one's unemployed, perhaps.
No, this is one of those.
Boss baby.
You know when you see a movie and they have a newborn in the movie and you're like, did the mom like immediately get that baby an agent? This is one of those babies.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm trying to get him in a Marvel movie.
Oh.
Do you think they cover those babies with fake blood?
Yes.
Like when-
I do. I mean, it's
What do you
not
mean?
real
when
blood.
they come like they're trying to show a birth on TV
Oh.
and then they show a newborn. Obviously they're like 6 weeks old because you're like, that's a big fucking baby every single time. But then you're like, did they have to cover it in like placenta juice? Like what's going on?
I honestly literally thought they had like a deal with mothers and would just film brand new babies, but that makes way more sense.
That they
They-
Hollywood has a
they
deal with
had a
Hollywood.
deal with blood mothers.
You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
I don't know. I never thought about it. That makes sense. Wait, what does Crystal do for a living?
Oh, Crystal doesn't have to work.
What?
No, she's part of the socialite class. She's just hanging out.
Like,
She's a Rockefeller.
she's dime squared.
Yeah, you can catch her at brunch every single day.
What does Bogo do?
Magic. Probably.
You're not at liberty to say
He's
what
magic.
What was hair?
Stage.
Stage magic.
Magic.
Are they maybe?
Are they related?
I think they're brothers.
Yeah.
They made out, and then you said, "I think they're brothers."
It's like the way you would kiss a baby on
Right.
the mouth.
Right.
Over and over.
It's just so fun to make these little guys kiss.
Yeah.
I kind of I put
Marge's fetus.
I
Oh, yeah.
put the nose there, and I realized I did like backwards if I was doing normal sock puppet, so that forced the mouth to be here, but I like what that's doing to the body's shape.
I know it's good. I know. I was. So that was not deliberate.
Not deliberate. No,
It was-
I was
executed.
intending to do the
Hey,
other way, and
happy
then it had.
accidents.
I've never
Happy
seen.
accidents?
I really feel like I've never seen Botox so well accomplished on the sock puppet. It's looking crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah,
What is-
I kind of like that. I'll just keep the mouth.
What does he do
These
for a living?
jawlines are
Um,
incredible.
He works in business development for a mid-sized B2B software firm.
Where were you when you found out about B2B?
Truly,
Oh.
like I think at an open mic like a year and a half ago, someone was explaining their job to me, and I was like, I have to look up what that is. I can't keep hearing this.
I think I found out what B2B was on Conan's podcast ad reads.
Yes.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's an amazing podcast ad where they're like, "Are you B2B or B2C?" Shopify can help
Yeah.
you.
Wait, are we
There's
good?
an ad.
You think we're good with the glue gun? Because I will say let's
I can
unplug
unplug it before
Yeah.
it catches
Oh,
flame.
yeah.
Let's do that. Let's do that. Great. Appreciate it. There's an ad for what?
There's a podcast ad that was like, Dad, like, I don't want you to come to school for parent job, career day, whatever, because I don't understand your job. And then it cuts to, like, people don't understand B2B, but we do. Like, come work with us. And it's just like, that's not effective.
I've heard that one a bunch. Yeah.
It's on podcasts that I listen to where I'm like, I cannot possibly think they did the correct demographic research to put this on this podcast. Where, like, I am the target listener and I am not doing B2B software development, and I don't plan on it.
I have to do an ad read real quick. You guys mind? We're sponsored by Old Socks. Old Socks. You know how you still have those socks? Use them for something. Old Socks. Use our discount code PU. Sorry.
I was literally about to say, like, it's funny when you listen to a podcast and you can tell by the ads that you are not the intended demo. Like, you're the only one. Yeah.
And me listening to, like, Mel Robbins. Like, I listen to so many self-help for mom podcasts. And it's like, is your daughter acting crazy? And I'm like, turning up the volume. Like, let me get this. But as somebody who works in podcast advertising, I will say they actually spend millions upon millions of dollars making sure their ads go to the right people. So
Oh, interesting.
It's not working.
it's not working.
I do like the idea of the dad coming in for the son's, like, parent day or whatever. That is very funny. Just like talking to a room of kindergartners. I do B2B enterprise solutions.
Yeah.
It is like cool to wonder, like, who is writing these scripts.
Yeah.
Now that we have our sock puppets done,
Yeah.
I really love the.
I'm making it hold it.
Yeah.
My hand is getting sweaty. I'm not gonna lie to you.
But they're pretty thin.
You can take it off and on.
No, I have to suffer for art, dude. You guys ever suffer for your art? Your face. Sorry.
No,
you went. You like were
I
like.
really tried to think about it, and I actually think I go out of my way to be comfortable all the time.
Yeah,
Pretty
and
much easy and fun always.
yeah.
It's
I'll
not
even-
easy and fun, but I really try to not do hard stuff for no reason, so I don't
And-
think I suffer.
I'll even say I don't like it when people suffer for their art.
Yeah.
I don't like their art.
Yeah.
Stop doing that.
Yeah, stop that.
Relax. It's not fun anymore.
I love people who do choose to suffer for their art, being like, I love that you enjoy your life. Like, they love to, like, say that, you
Yeah.
know? They're like, I love that you, like, balance, like, your goals with, like, self-care. I don't, because I'm gonna be successful. And it's like, yes, I agree, girl. But you're also gonna have gout.
Also, this is a really serious opinion. Art is meant to encompass every aspect of the human experience, not just suffering.
Woo!
Whoa.
Yeah.
So, what are you suffering for?
Amen.
Amen to that.
What are you even talking
What are you even
about? Like, what?
One of my googlies is stuck. It doesn't
we have-
move.
Can we have a puppet discussion? Can everybody put their
Oh,
puppet
yeah.
on the mic, please?
Hey! I'm just a baby.
Oh my
I don't
god.
know anything.
Abracadabra.
Whose baby is it? Is this somebody's baby?
You guys are literally fucking weird.
I forgot I'm also a baby.
Wait.
I'm a fetus. I'm a fetus. Imagine leaving a fetus on an orphanage step. They're like, it's not even done yet.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's.
Wait.
It's like still in like the placental sac
Hey.
or whatever. It's like you have to put it back inside of a mom in order to finish it.
I'm rooting for that process to be completed.
I have a deal with mothers.
I have a deal with
It's my target demo.
If I saw a fetus, what would I do? Like, just on an orphanage
I'm
step?
not sure I would know what it is.
I'd probably, yeah.
Are they still called orphanages?
Oh, good question.
I think
Is that some
so.
sort of different system?
But
now?
I
don't know.
I think there's a difference between being in foster care and being in an orphanage.
Yeah.
But I think there are more people in foster care than.
Yeah, I'm never hearing about the orphanages.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think they exist, but it's not the most effective method, so there's fewer of them.
Maybe there's less. Maybe it's like a
There's
America.
adoption
It could be an
agencies.
America thing. Like does more foster and maybe like because like when a lot of people adopt, it's like from places that are more desperate.
Movies for
I don't know.
kids are always about orphanages.
Yeah.
True.
Like that
there's
used to
gotta
be a
be
huge part of
still going
my
on.
life, but not now that I'm not watching Mary Kate and Ashley movies. It's
Yeah.
like where are those stories being told?
They did. Wasn't the Annie movie they made in like 2011 set in modern day?
Yes.
So
Black Annie.
Yeah,
That was incredible. I saw it in theaters.
that movie has some good music. But okay, so there was an orphanage in a movie in 2011. We've got that data point.
That is true, yeah. But is
A-
it because it was Annie?
Is Annie the only American orphan story?
Well,
Stuart
no,
Little?
because
The Boxcar Children.
there's of course
Do you remember that book
Samantha in
series?
American Girl Holiday, the historical American Girl doll who befriends Nellie and her sisters who are orphans and then
Yes.
gets her rich Uncle Guard to adopt them on Christmas Day.
Wait, I remember that. That's
The best thing that can happen to
So
not only an
beautiful.
orphan but also to anybody is a rich person adopts you.
yeah.
Legit.
You know what I mean? Like orphans are always like big money, big money, big money. It's like very much so like a lottery. Sorry. You know what I mean? Orphans are like, let's go. Let's get some of the billionaires that own the biggest building in town to
Yeah.
come down to the adoption. You know what I
Unfortunately,
mean?
those people are doing IVF. For sure. For sure.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep getting targeted ads to donate my eggs for 10K, and I'm like, only 10K?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such an invasive procedure, actually.
It's really painful and dangerous, even.
Yeah.
dangerous.
They rejected
Wow.
my sperm.
Did they really?
Really?
I tried.
They can't just hand it in loose,
When?
is what they said.
Yeah, exactly. I kept coming back with new jars. And, yeah, it was really, it was really, really sad. That was when I worked at a mid-sized B2B software firm.
Oh my god.
Is that why they rejected?
Yeah, exactly. They were like, we don't know what you do.
Why?
No, well, no. But what I've come to learn is that it's about like being able to survive the freezing process. So it needs to like just like they keep it for a week, and if it like dies, then you don't get it or something.
Your sperm's
Damn.
unfreezable.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
I take that as a compliment. Like
Kind of powerful.
somehow, I'm not gonna interrogate that, but I just choose to take it as a compliment.
When you say the process is invasive, by the way, I am curious, like, what's up? Because the sperm donation process, I think, is not that
No,
invasive.
is it
I think
zero
it's the
invasive?
opposite of invasive.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
they
the
have to go in.
To scoop
Yeah,
it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess
but is it
because
like-
of
is it-
female anatomy typically it's
Is it like
gonna have
going
to
in?
be an inside procedure.
But it's not even
Right,
like,
right, right. I'm
it's-
curious,
but
is
it's
it
not
in a
even that
weird way?
they go in through the existing holes. It's like a
Smooth out.
surgery.
Right.
I could be dead wrong about this also, but I think they actually it's like a surgery.
They
You
have to
go.
do
into the knife.
something with the eggs so they'll start growing a little.
It's the beginning of IVF
Whoa.
where you have to do the hormone injections, and then so the like eggs whatever. I truly that's the medical term. So they whatever, and then they take them out.
And then it goes on
Nice scoop
sushi.
ya.
and then they freeze them,
And they
and
freeze.
you literally there is like literally a freezer in Manhattan freezing rich woman's eggs right now, and it's like there's all these like backups because what if the power goes out? Like, are they gonna lose their frozen eggs because they're gonna melt?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So and you like have to
Melt.
you have to
Melted egg.
you have to pay to keep your eggs frozen, kind of like having a storage unit. Like you're paying for your eggs to
Yeah.
stay in their little locker.
Wow. Like some people have like
Super expensive.
like
if you
some
wanna-
rich kids have a loft downtown and they're not even born yet.
Yeah.
Legit.
Yeah.
Their parents
And
pay
like,
their
why
utility
do they
bills.
get to live
and
in Midtown? Not
Yeah.
there.
It's Sex in the City, but it's 5 unborn
There's
twins.
an animated film
Yeah.
waiting to be told.
There's kind of so if you're doing IVF, not necessarily here, but I do feel like in the South where I grew up, you're probably like a pretty wealthy person, and you probably are also conservative. But statistically, not necessarily. I should reiterate this: a lot of conservative people who have money, like, go do IVF, and if you are a twin or a triplet, you're statistically more likely to be gay. And if you do IVF, you're more likely to get a twin or a triplet. So like I know several pretty, and it's just kind of like a funny A to C there, where like I know several like gay twins and triplets that their parents they were IVF babies, and so these conservative families are accidentally like making themselves gay babies. You know what I mean?
That's funny. That's interesting.
Whoa, so gay. We cracked the code. It's nature, not nurture.
Yeah.
Whoa. So many of my friends have been trying to get to the bottom of that. For years.
Well, I briefly touched on Sex in the City, but I know that it's no. You're doing girls rewatch, or you're also
we're
doing
rewatching Broad City right now.
I thought you were asking if she was interested in women.
No. No, I was going down the rabbit hole.
Girls,
Do we have the time?
No.
I was like, oh my goodness.
The idea of the other. Now I'll briefly actually. My guests are all very funny comedians this week,
We're
and
in
they
2
do
hours
different
in.
stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I know you got a cool pod. I'm not doing plugs, but I am just like.
Thanks for
How's
plugging
that?
my podcast. It's called Girls Rewatch.
That's
We
the one.
rewatched all of Lena Dunham's Girls, and now we're rewatching Broad City. And there's some new shows coming out this year that we're excited to talk about as well.
Like The Boys season 5 or
Hard pivot.
Actually, definitely not that. Lena Dunham has a new show coming out.
oh
And
yeah.
then we're hopefully going to cover the Rachel Sennett HBO show.
yeah.
wait, what's that?
It's
Is that Untitled Project?
And then Benny Dramas Overcompensating.
I'm sorry, what?
It's like Amazon Prime.
Say Benny Dramas? Is that the name of the thing?
Do you know that guy, Benny
No.
Drama?
No.
He wears some cool wigs.
Cool.
His name's Benito Skinner, but is like is Benny Drama, and he goes by Benny Drama.
Ah.
But he's around.
He hosts the podcast Ride with Mary Beth Barone.
Okay. She had a great special. I liked her YouTube special a lot.
Oh yeah,
Right.
I was at the taping of that. Her dress was so awesome.
Yeah.
It's like the Coliseum, like the decor.
Yeah,
stuff.
and she had like set up coliseums at the Bell House. She is like one of the chicest girls we have.
Yeah.
That's very cool. I felt like I felt a little bit voyeuristic where I was like, I'm very clearly not the target demo, but it's interesting to me. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
cool
you're
to-
like watching every frame, and you're like, this isn't even for me, and I love it.
Is that how you guys feel watching
Everything.
like a lot of stuff I imagine? Yeah.
Modern American culture.
Yeah.
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 Dan Licata. We love Dan Licata, but I can imagine that the special for the boys, I can imagine was not maybe hits in a way that Mary Beth Barone's did for.
Sometimes I'm problematic for my inability to even listen to boys
You
make
told me that.
jokes. Yeah.
Wait. Okay, hold on. You have said to me before, I refuse to watch men do stand up or something like that.
It's not even like an active choice. It's like it filters out.
It's so awesome.
And there's so many things. There's like sometimes I'll literally be listening to a guy at an open mic, and I'm like, if a girl had said that, I'd be losing my shit. But it's like because it was him, I'm like, all right, fucking relax. Like, and it's like a trauma we have yet to get to the bottom of. But I'm wishing guys who want to do comedy the best. I heard there's like a place for you, maybe. So.
What's the most like boy thing that you like in culture?
gay guys.
Gay guys or boys,
that's good.
which I didn't know for a very long time.
Right, that's true.
I love Drag Race. I love like
The answer is nothing. The answer is not one thing. It's awesome.
I actually think it's really sweet when like guys like cry with each other, and then they're like do you know what I like on TikTok when it's like somebody's brother who's been in jail comes home and surprises the other brother, and they like embrace and they're
Yeah.
like, oh, I missed you, buddy. I find that really
That's
powerful.
a good answer. That's a really good
I like that.
answer.
I like that.
Yeah,
too.
I'm like,
Yeah.
there's something really
Yeah.
special about brotherhood. Because it's like, despite the socialization of like you not being allowed to like care or like feel like feelings or whatever, like when it's your brother and he's been gone, like you're allowed to cry. And I'm like, fuck yeah, do it, bros.
That's awesome.
But
Well, it's awesome because it's not on purpose, even kind of.
yeah, it's
It
like,
really makes me laugh.
it's like
truly
people
how your
will
brain
catch
filters
me
it.
frowning at a mic and they're like, you're being so rude, and I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, I didn't even know that was my face. Have y'all ever been texted pictures of you watching a show? No.
I like that answer. I love that you bring that energy. I'm gonna put you all in the hot seat.
Okay.
I don't go around. Audrey will do you next.
Okay.
You've been running one of the best shows in town for a little
you.
while. Really great. The energy, bringing the good vibes to the scene.
Thank you.
How's that feeling?
How's that
How's that going?
How's the show? How's the show going?
Well, yeah,
It's
yeah.
good. I mean, I think it's really fun to consistently have a space to like book the people that I want to see, book the people that I like seeing, like cultivate an experience that I know that if I tell my friends or I tell strangers to go, it's gonna be a good vibe and they're gonna get to see like it's fun. I think now I've made some friends recently that like through this school program thing I'm doing that are fresh to New York, and I think their impression of New York was at first so Manhattan, and it's like really lovely to bring them to Brooklyn and be like, here's this like super alternative, queer, popular show where you can see all this up and coming amazing talent, and it like feels good to have a space to like be like, these are the people I'm a fan of, these are the people I'm excited about, they can come and perform here and I get to be a part of it. So I don't know, I love doing live comedy. I really
Live comedy!
feel passionate about it.
Yeah. But also, like this, when I came to the scene, people would talk about like kind of these old shows like the Knitting Factory type stuff or whatever, and I was like, damn, I kind of wish I was fucking here for whatever that was.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, oh, what, I am here now
Yeah.
for the stuff that is here now. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's one of those things. You know what I mean? I imagine
Literally.
You know what I'm talking about?
No, yeah, like you're almost nostalgic for what you thought you imagined it would be like when you got here. And then you're like,
Yeah.
oh, but like
Yes.
the thing I'm doing right now is going to be nostalgic to me like in 10 years.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like rushing through it and being in a bad mood. When actually I'm in the heart of it and right now is magic.
I kind of think about that a little bit where it's like, we just mentioned Rachel Sennett, and like she was in the scene, and I'm like, oh, I'm ships in the night a little bit, but also by like 2 years. But where it's like, oh shit, if I gotten here pre-COVID, I would have known Rachel Sennett and Io and whoever. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys feel, or if you know them, or feel similar. You know what I mean?
I guess
But now I know you guys. What's that?
Well, I always feel, or I feel like I always get to brag about the people I know when I go home to my parents or I talk to family friends, because we do know the next famous people already. Some people are already famous, and I'm like, I've spoken to them before. But I feel like that all the time, or I feel always in awe of the people I'm around, which is so awesome. But it is like, yeah, people are so talented, and it's so crazy. I get to see everyone all the time for free or for $5 to $10.
Yeah.
And
Well, sometimes 15 or 20 these
Or
days.
something.
Yes, please.
inflation go crazy.
I love seeing my friends for $20
yeah.
and a drink.
None of you guys are getting comps.
But it is so exciting to meet people, and like I've met people who are in their first couple months of miking, but you just know they're gonna like, you know, they're so good, and then you like see them
That's my
get
favorite.
big.
I love that. That's
And
the
I've like
best.
had that happen to friends already, and it's just like very exciting to be like, I believed in you and I was right, you know.
Hell yeah. Freaking anybody that you want to shout out who you're like, this person's doing real well and they're coming up.
Jessie Lee, I think, is so amazing, and
Hell
I
yeah.
Yeah.
love her. We're besties. I feel like I just like have watched her really grind. I feel like she does like a new super creative video literally every single day, and I've just watched her get better and better.
Loved her IKEA table one.
Oh my god!
I met some people the other night who were like,
Yeah.
oh my god, we love Jessie Lee. So no, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Claire Donaher also, I think,
Oh,
is
yeah.
like has
Just had her
really
on the
developed
pod.
this like specific tone of voice, and also just like churns out this like really funny creative content. And I think like I met them both and immediately liked them so much, and I was like, you guys are geniuses. And then now I feel like people are finding out too that they're geniuses, and I'm like, I knew it.
Sometimes I feel like I'm like, oh, that's right. We're in the spot where all the geniuses come to. Like, it's
Yeah,
like a genius
it does feel
watering
like that
hole. You know what I mean?
sometimes.
It's like, I don't know. I'm talking to people and I'm like, oh shit, that's right. They could see everything and the. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel a little naked sometimes where I'm like, oh, this person can tell that I'm like a weird. You know what I mean? I'll be like, you know,
Wait, what do you mean?
like I'll feel like I'm kind of putting on like maybe like a hat of ego or being weird or something, and then somebody will be like, why are you being weird? And I'm like, that's right, people can fucking see. You know what I mean? Like, these are all smart people who are on the ball, and you know what I mean? I'm very
Yeah.
observant.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I see that.
Yeah. But in like a fun way. Like, it
Yeah.
keeps you on your toes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Ah.
like you're constantly being clocked.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like you would be good with that.
I'm like, I wish it would happen to me more, but I feel like I'm mostly doing it to others. But I also like fail to have a filter that most people I think have. So I'll like say something that everybody was thinking but knew not to say, and then I'm like, oh right.
No, but I like that though. I like that like.
Yeah, hopefully it
vibe.
works. Honestly, I went to college in Canada, and it was like culture, like it was such a culture shock because people there are so like, and Texas is like this too, but it's like it's more important to be polite than to be kind. Like you just want to appear nice rather than like actually caring about somebody. So it's like I feel like from a young age I was always trying to like figure out like who was lying to me versus who was telling me the truth, because everybody was smiling. But I was like, but how do you really feel? So you like pick up on kind of like the unspoken whatever. And Canada was the same way, but almost like turned up a notch where nobody says what they actually feel. So you have to kind of like decipher it. But it was amazing to move to New York, and immediately everybody was so like them and like unapologetic and kind of just like straightforward and like honest.
Shooting from the hip in a way.
Yeah, and like it is like fun that like people will like come at you in a way that they don't in Canada.
No, I know what you
That's
mean.
cool. Yeah.
Recently I've really been trying to practice the thing of when I feel like you were mentioning this, when people are talking or just like in a way that's above you somehow, or I feel this way where sometimes people are just talking and I just don't get it. I really am trying to practice the art of just telling them that I don't get what they're saying. Same thing with a joke of if someone's like clearly trying to run a joke on me in conversation, or they are literally running a joke and I don't get it, just saying it instead of pretending to laugh. And that is sort of my version of that, because otherwise it's like we're gonna keep going in a conversation and I'm just gonna have to pretend the whole time that I know what you're talking about. But actually I think it's better to arrest the momentum at
And
the
be like,
beginning.
can you explain the Treaty of Versailles really quick?
I always really, in conversation, if someone will either stop me or stop someone else in a conversation and go, wait, what does that word mean? I always think that's a sign, like that's a cool person. Instead of, I just think it's like so much better to ask so that then you are on the same
It's
field.
also a power move. Like, I feel stupid when I say, like, I always get in my head of, like, am I, like, when someone asks me, like, what a word means or, like, what a reference is, I feel like an idiot for assuming they knew. Like, so I feel like the dickhead for being like, who the fuck do you think you are? Like, what are you talking about? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
It's
like
so
they're the
fun that you
smart
turn
ones
it.
for, like, they're smart for not giving a shit about the stupid thing I just referenced. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is crazy to just turn it back on yourself and be like, dumb.
I really do that. Well, that's why I end up, like, I get so in my head about the thing, like, when I'm referencing anyone, I preempt it. I feel like I've completely lost any sense of, like, what a normal person knows. So I'll end up being, like, referencing something. I'll be like, have you heard of that? And then sometimes they're like, no, what are you talking about? And sometimes they're like, yeah, I've heard of that. And then, yeah, then either way, I'm like, fuck, shut up.
I had that today because I put out a joke and it's about like the Chicago bean, and somebody's like, what are you talking about? Like the downtown Chicago mirror bean? Like what the hell are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, it's just not. And then I had to be like, no, people know.
People know
like I
about
had
the
to like,
bean.
you know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah.
I think especially in the age of the
Yeah.
internet, I really, my
know about
sense.
Yeah, people know how to.
They know about the bean.
People know how to find the bean. Sorry,
They
okay.
ought to know the bean, and that's
What is
that's the tough thing to know is like whether they do know the bean or don't know the bean. Ought they to know the bean? Okay, yes, they ought to know.
Well, I was
for
literally-
sure.
I was like, I'm just like, yeah. It's like, if you know somebody that goes to Chicago, it's that distorted mirror photo they post.
Yeah.
That's
everyone
you know what I'm
knows the
talking
bean.
about,
In
dude.
my-
Yeah.
Everyone knows the bean.
So I just had to be like, I was like,
I can't
You're
believe people are
incorrect.
acting like they don't know the bean.
How dare, they're pretending not to know the bean.
but it's. I think it's every joke because somebody will be like I had one about. I'm just now running jokes past it. I didn't run the joke. By. I'm just telling you the reference. The using every part of the buffalo. Somebody's like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, you know.
I
using
remember learning
part of the
that.
buffalo,
I
dude.
literally remember. I
School.
can picture myself in 4th grade learning that and
Yes.
being like, "Oh my god!" I remember what part of the classroom I was in when I found out that they turned the bladder into a reusable water bottle, and I was like, "Wait a second."
They use the tongue
That's
for the hair. The
impactful.
tongue for the hairbrush got to my mind.
Yeah,
I
they
was
use
always
it
like,
all.
I will say. No, I won't. I'll tell. Okay, here. I'll couch this carefully.
Dumb, baby, dumb.
Okay. I respect Native American cultures. However, this idea of
Immediately indigenous culture.
totally. I think yeah, absolutely. Yes. I'm going very specifically the tribes that do the buffalo thing, and the idea of that it's more respectful to the animal to use every body part. It's like, well, that is bringing your own ideas of what you just killed an animal and drank its blood. Using its tongue as a hairbrush does not necessarily strike me as respect. I think that the respect is within a framework of a specific spiritual idea, which I respect. However, from a secular perspective, that's not respecting. But anyway,
Well, we'll talk to them. We'll let them know
yeah,
how you feel.
I'll let them know. Sorry, I was trying to write a joke about that, and I was like, I could never say that because that's not correct. However, I said it here, but my couching is that I don't actually believe that.
Amelia was clocking you the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll play
Why
that
would-
back, and I'll be somehow
Yeah.
in a different position. Like, really?
Can I trade you back? From
Yeah.
understand the different tribes of America don't prefer indigenous always. They prefer the specific tribe, and they don't like being all lumped.
They don't like being lumped together.
Yeah, so that's
But does Native Americans really fix that?
no. But I didn't know how to. What's it? You know what I mean? I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. I'm trying. In
There's
this
actually-
space,
there's-
I mean well. However, okay, here's a thought. Here's a quick thought. Here's a quick thought. This idea of respecting the buffalo, I think, is very specifically an idea of respecting these Native American religions. But I don't respect any general religions. I don't respect Christianity or Judaism or any of them. So to randomly put Native American religion on a pedestal, I think is specifically only, I think it is very valid because of what we have done to them and the et cetera. However, I think it's the difference between respecting the people, and I can disagree with the belief system.
But
Does that make sense?
Benny, the religion you're referencing, they don't eat the whole buffalo anymore because we took the buffaloes away. Like you are also, I feel like that the criticism you're applying is to a culture that doesn't really
Exist 'cause we
exist in
genocided.
the same way.
Totally. The buffalo are back, though.
Yeah, but I don't
Yeah.
think that the way they used to be. There used to be a lot of buffalo.
I don't
No, that's
I know,
valid,
I
that's valid.
I think the main point is, yeah, you don't have to agree with any belief system.
Okay, let me.
Yeah.
Here's where it actually becomes relevant. Is that we have this idea of we don't agree that Israel is the sacred holy land of the Jews, right? Are we kind of all on board with that? I think the idea of sacred land is itself a bad idea. I think that we should respect the movement of people and care about where people are and care about people in general democratically in a way. And so when we have certain ideas of sacred native land getting in the way of certain things, I can see that as sometimes actually being a problematic structure. Because respect, I think it's one thing to respect for land and let's go off on me.
The meaning of sacred is different in those
Yeah.
two
Great point.
examples.
Great point.
Or just like in
Yeah.
I'm actually
Please
confused
go
on that.
go
We're
off
supposed
on
to
me
say
actually,
indigenous
please.
or neighboring, but- and that's more like sacred as in that it should be protected for its value as being natural land versus
Spilling on myself.
people who
Fracking.
need to be in XYZ place.
Well, and also
Like, in terms of fracking?
Or yeah,
Well,
it could
that's
be
a good
anything. Yeah,
example.
land should be protected for its inherent value as land. That's why it's sacred.
That's a great point. I respect that, and I've changed my mind in that way.
Yeah.
And we'll actually want
And that's why we have dialogue.
when we're ready to go off on a tangent, I'm prepared.
yeah.
I will. I
Okay.
was gonna talk about. I was gonna put you in the hot seat and you in the hot seat. I just want to touch on this briefly because I think this idea of using every part of the buffalo to respect it is, I think, only within a framework of a specific morality, and is not necessarily respecting the buffalo.
Well, it's kind
Does
of
that make sense?
not to bring up Broad City, but it's like the episode I was just talking about was Alana read an article about like child labor, like making like fast fashion, and she's like so upset. But then Abby's like, but it's a really cute shirt. Like, what if I buy it? And then Alana says, well, it would be all for a waste if you didn't buy the shirt. Like, the idea where it's like, it's the same idea of like, well, if you already killed the buffalo, like, if you already made the child laborer have to do the work, like, whatever. So it's like,
totally
faulty in all scenarios.
That's valid. I think I'll put a pause here because I think I can tell you guys are not loving my angle here. So what I'll say is that I assume all guilt of this perspective.
No, I was going to say that it's like how we make chicken nuggets and hot dogs.
Totally.
Yeah, in terms of like not about respect, but using all of the animal.
Okay, so
but to me that is like
to
me that's more a question of sustainability, where I'm like, oh yeah, you're using all the parts of the animal, so you got more like products from.
You need a different justification.
I think that yes, I think that the justification of respecting the animal is a reverse justification of we have killed this thing and now we're using every part of it, and so we're going, it's actually because we respect it. It's like I don't think that's why. I think you're doing out of a survivability idea. But however, what I'll do continuing to pull back and go, this is something where I should not have brought this up with this specific ethnic collection. And I should perhaps discuss this with native peoples whose tribes it's relevant to.
Totally.
Does that make sense?
You've got to get them in the studio.
But I think I'd love to. I would genuinely love to.
Yeah.
I think it's valid to disagree about that sort of thing. And I'll get the hell off of this topic because I think we hate this. But I do think that there's a sacredness, or there's like a inability to criticize within that space, and I think that is probably good for most of it. But I think some of it is like, why can't I? But that's valid, and I shouldn't be the one to do it. So never mind, is what I'll say.
I think it also just
in real time changing my mind.
Necessarily like an up-to-date religious practice. So like
that's valid.
Yeah.
Comparing it to a criticism you would have of a modern religion that has like been able to thrive and develop in the modern world, like
that's
the
great.
way Christianity. You know what I mean?
Well, great point.
It's a different thing.
And the power structure is different.
Philosophically and on principle, I think that it's interesting to think about those things. But I guess voicing them, people are always like, what's the purpose of this? Because it has no purpose, because it is not a power holder.
This is why I should have stopped myself from saying the idea. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I was writing jokes about the idea of using every part of the buffalo, and then I was like, it came to mind that thing we learned in preschool or like or fourth grade or whatever, where it's like using the tongue as a hairbrush, and I'm like, that's not respect. That's using the tongue as a hairbrush. I don't know. You know what I mean?
I'm just curious how effective it is.
That is a really good question.
Maybe for anti-frizz.
Yeah.
It also feels possible that maybe the tongue as the hairbrush thing is just something that they put in textbooks in the 2000s and maybe not reflective of something everyone was doing.
That's valid.
And I'll say, in terms of our original conversation of getting it or not getting it, I actually didn't get it because I didn't go to school here. And we did not learn about those things.
Interesting.
In Thailand.
You went to school in Thailand?
Mm-hmm. I grew up, for the most part, in Thailand.
Are you so pumped about
Putting you in the hot seat.
season 3?
Yeah, actually, did you guys watch the first episode already?
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay, well, no spoilers, but it did kind of make me homesick because, well, I've never been in a position before where I could watch TV and be like a judge over whether or not it's telling something actually authentically, so that was kind of fun. But there are these morning birds in Thailand, and they just like make such a specific, they just like sing a specific song in the morning at like 6 a.m. and they sampled, or they had them in the show. And so then I heard them and I was like, oh my God, that's what I heard every day.
Did they shoot it in Thailand?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And is it about like rich people who go to those like moon party thing kind of thing?
Yeah, but they didn't really do the full moon thing. They did more like spiritual Buddhism exploration as opposed to like crazy going out, which to me, that's more the Thailand thing. I feel like the spiritual stuff is more like like South Asian.
Yeah, right.
As like if like Thailand's like a bit younger.
George Harrison.
Not to come after Mike White, but
Well, there's still episodes left.
there's still episodes left, so it could be. But anyways, yes.
Okay, yeah, 2 quick thoughts. Thank you for derailing.
Yeah, no
Appreciate that. Sorry for the energy I brought with that idea. Sorry for the idea itself, and I will do my own reflection and study on it separately. However, I want to keep you in the hot seat, and then I'll come to you as well. But the idea of, do you want to talk about? Nice. Okay. Cool. What do you?
But you write for a sketch show or like a
YouTube.
I was gonna say, like, do you want to talk
YouTube.
about a different element of comedy that's
Yeah,
you're doing?
sure. I write these scripts for this little speculative science channel called What If, and so I write videos that are like, what if you fell into Saturn, or what if humans suddenly became as big as dinosaurs?
Whoa.
Oh,
and
cool.
things like that. So it's mostly speculative fiction, but I do some amount of research for them, and they're quite fun.
That's so cute.
Huh.
Yeah.
How long are the videos?
Originally they were 10 minutes, but they just extended them, so now they're around 20.
That's sweet.
And they animate it. It's all very, yeah.
So I not to derail, but like, so I have this app to reduce my screen time. I have done this app on my phone to, like, I have to do a certain number of push-ups. Every push-up gets me another minute of screen time. And so I literally, like, radically reduced my, like, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter.
You're down to 0 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah, I haven't done a push-up in a year and a half. No, but, like, I really don't watch it. But the one thing I kept is YouTube, because I like to, like, when I go, like, at the gym, use the elliptical, I'll, like, watch. So I've, like, the last, like, 6 months, I've consumed more, like, long-form YouTube content than I ever have. So what you're describing is, like, I like that.
Yeah, it's really
that sounds
fun.
great.
You watch Curtis Gazette? You watch any of those?
What's that?
It's like one of
I
those
love
channels.
I love that
you love
one.
Curtis? It's great. It's that one with like the little birds cartoon.
Yeah, I think so. Like the dark
I've done more
purple.
like history
Yeah.
ones and then like nerdy music stuff. That's where I get ads
Okay,
that are
fun.
like not for me.
Oh, nice.
It's like retirement plans and stuff.
Are you guys video essay people? You guys like watching?
Oh, yeah.
I understand you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I imagine our video essay diet is all following along different lines. I think it's going to be kind of maybe the 3 of us and then the 2 of you.
Oh.
And does that make sense? Like, I feel
Yeah,
as though
I
you're
see
probably
it.
watching more
I'm
pop
obsessed
cultural
with
criticism than I
Nina
am.
Lee. She does like the cults of Pilates or like fashion evolution or like
Oh, so you and I have the same.
probably. But yeah, there's so many amazing girls who are so smart making video essays for me to eat every day during lunch. But it's always just like, why do bangs look like this? And it's like an hour and a half long.
That actually does sound cool.
Yeah,
Like, that
it's
sounds
so
like a bad idea.
interesting,
Yeah.
and they're like very well like researched and like show you like it's like this is what Hank Green and John Green actually didn't talk about when I was studying for the AP exam, and it's now finally I get to hear like what girls were like back then.
I'm gonna pause you real quick and go. We are a little over an hour, but we can continue if people are feeling the vibe. Sound good? And if anybody wants to run away, now's your chance. Does anybody have any word to be? No. Cool. Great. Well, I won't make you do it forever, but I don't know if we're vibing. I should have told you that ahead of time.
You did.
I told
us
2 of you.
the early.
Yeah, I
for
told
sure.
you 2, but I forgot to tell you 2.
I have nowhere to be.
Yeah.
Awesome, sick.
Blow out.
The long form YouTube thing that I watch is, I think, going to surprise people. But I actually really love the guy that yells at people about their finances. Do you
that
guys
guy?
know about
Yeah.
I don't know.
this?
I mean, he
No,
yells.
wait, what?
So the whole thing, it's very like, it's very.
See, that's the guy thing that you like.
That's the guy thing I like. So he's this guy in Austin, Texas, and he makes these sort of like clickbaity, like kind of amped up videos where people come in and are like, I'm in so much debt and every single day I DoorDash something. And then he's like, you have to stop DoorDashing. And then at the end, he like makes them a budget and is like, you're going to get it together. You're going to retire. And so it's kind of fun to have on in the background because one, he will sometimes say like stuff about finances where I do feel like it's important information is finding its way to me. Where like he talked about different types of savings accounts, and I did like go look into it. And I was like,
You're
that
like,
is
"Wait,
actually useful information.
Roth IRA my ass.
Yeah, and but it also sometimes it's just a little satisfying to be like, okay, I'm not this irresponsible. And then in the end, he helps them, and the way he makes a budget is actually pretty helpful. But I honestly, it is funny to me when he yells.
So I don't really ever see him on like TikTok, so like it makes me feel good to know that in the end he sends him on the right road.
No, and
Because I'd only see him like, you idiot, you went to graduate school, fuck you!
yeah. And then what's funny too is like sometimes you'll see the TikTok and it'll be like, this woman storms out of the show, first person.
Yeah.
And then in the real video, she'll get upset and then he'll go like, okay, hold on. And he goes, we talked to you in the beginning and said I'd make fun of you and that's part of the part of the show. But if you want me to stop, I'll pull back. What do you need? And then like when they clickbait it online, they make it seem like he's this monster. And then you watch it and he's like normal enough. I don't know. Maybe he's a freak. I don't really know things about him. But it's just so funny to watch them make clickbait in real time.
Yes, very true.
Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting and kind of funny. And if I'm watching an hour-long YouTube video while I'm like cleaning my room, it's
the best.
That guy.
The video essays are the best for when you're also doing a second.
Oh,
yeah.
Wait, I was gonna ask. I'll put you. I will come back to your hot seat as well in a moment because I got more for. I don't know. I'll forget. But I'll. But also, two things for you. Have you been the subject of like a video essay? Have people made video essays about your shit?
Yeah.
Have you watched them?
Yeah, there was one. Yeah, there was one good one that I really liked. That like dissected Planet of the Base in the context of like the fall of the Soviet Union.
Oh,
Which was really.
That's cool.
I would have watched that as a consumer. I was like, I loved it, and
were you in Planet of the Base?
yeah. Actually, that's how I remembered. I started watching. I was like, "This is interesting." Oh, that's me. Yeah, and then that was cool, and yeah, that's the only one I can think of. But.
That's cool. But there were some other ones that you didn't watch or didn't like, or
well, like a true video essay. People have like I don't know if you remember like the Planet of the Base saga of like I had the different actresses lip syncing,
and people were
like,
pissed when it was
people were really pissed.
because that was the joke. But when you had the second one, people were like, "What the fuck? Who's this
Before I
lady?"
resolved it, there was like a 2-week period where people were like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah,
and
people
so
lost their
some
minds.
of those, but look, actually do you know like Dev Lemons?
Mm-mm.
She's like a whatever, but she made a good video that was like it was really great because she was like really cool about it, but she was like, I'm confused. I don't know what's going on. But that was really cool. Yeah.
This is maybe embarrassing, but I mentioned Planet of the Base in one of my Substacks, and it was
Really?
it was an in. I used it as an in to talk about the death of parody in general culture. Because mostly just I was like, things are yours was obviously a parody, but I was like, a lot of things are intended as parody, but they end up being like actually earnest versions of the thing they're trying to parody. And I used your song because I would run to it often, and so I was like, oh, it's a parody, but also it's just like I'm like earnestly listening to this as a dance song. And then I used that to start talking about like rage bait and things, where I was like, it's not rage bait, like you're not parodying a genre of rage bait because you are just being rage bait. So that's how you
Yeah. Well, that is something
Fan
I think
behavior.
a lot in yeah.
I'm gonna come back. I'm putting a pin bookmark. I'm gonna come back to you about your Substack, by the way. But because I like it. But I'm gonna come back. But the freaking they got a bunch of characters. That's the one that people know.
Yeah.
Do you feel? And then I recognize several where you've got like the old timey. Or you've got like rich guy. I don't know.
No, yeah, like it's you can I can tell.
Yes, no, I don't know.
I can tell in like 2 seconds, like it's the audience is very segmented, like, and I was kind of talking about this yesterday, but like people who like one thing often that I do, or like one character that I do, will often like be completely unaware of so like the people who like my baseball character, old-timey baseball character videos will be genuinely completely unaware of Planet of the Base and DJ Crazy Time.
Or they won't know it's you. Like they won't.
No, they literally don't even have never heard of it.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, I mean, that's just kind of the world we're in. It's like, if you're not the people who like my baseball videos, 88% dudes. Like
it's getting shared within a certain social
it's not being
radius
fed to
or something.
DJ Crazy Times is like, it's not being fed to them.
Good name. I'm liking this new one. The every millennial song.
Yeah, the ho hey. Yeah.
Does the character have a name?
Yeah, Cody Red Wing. Actually,
Nice.
this is I can say it here. It was supposed to be Cody Red Wing and the Roaming Hearts, and as his band, and then I accidentally wrote it as Broken Hearts, and then it just is Broken Hearts now on because I just fucked up. I just wrote it wrong. But yeah, Cody Red Wing.
But that's it's a little painful to watch because I was a little bit that type of guy.
Yeah.
I had the scarf, I had like a tweed hat. It kind of sucks for me to look at.
Well, that's what I think about. It's like, it's not, especially just like, with pop music in general, it's like, and it's just an inevitable thing. Like, it's also like the perfect example of like Nickelback. Okay. So Nickelback was extremely popular in they were one of the biggest rock and pop bands in the world. Then they got so big and they sort of became a totem for this whole genre of like butt rock music in 2000.
Butt rock.
Yeah. So then by 2008 to 12, it became cool, maybe even a little later, to like shit on Nickelback, and then it became like a famous meme of like any bad music, you'd be like, oh, what is this, Nickelback? And then it became dorky to shit on Nickelback because it became such a cliche that people didn't even know. So then you made fun of people who made fun of Nickelback. But then those people, in order to make fun of this second group of people who made fun of Nickelback, they would be like, no, Nickelback's actually really good, and I love Nickelback. Then they lost, it's so interesting, the waves of, pop culture, especially in the internet, how people consume it, because it's like, no. Just because you hate the second group of people who made fun of Nickelback doesn't make Nickelback good in the first place. They can be bad, and also the people who made fun of them can also be dorks. And so in the same way with this new song that I have that's like a parody of, sort of millennial ho-hey, song clap culture,
Yeah.
which is I do different parodies, the genres I like more than others. I actually like Eurodance music, and I am not a fan of this type of music that I'm currently parodying. But the point is, the reason it's so, cringy, I guess, is literally just because it's, 15 years old. And in 5 to 10 years, literally, me, or, all the people who were fuck my character or what he represents, or fuck Mumford and Sons, fuck the Luminaires, they suck, fuck the, they are going to be, they're just doing that not because it actually sucks, but because it just is 15 years old and culture moved past it in this weird way. But it'll come back to it eventually, and then they will look like dorks for making fun of it so aggressively.
So do you think you're gonna look like a dork then in that time frame?
Possibly.
That's interesting.
But I think, but I don't think. So I happen to not really like this genre of music, but what I think I try to do is just sort of identify and distill the tropes and package them and get the most condensed, purest version of it. So I like to think that I'm not necessarily, or as much as possible, not really passing judgment in a sense. It's just funny to see what that genre is and all the sort of tropes of that condensed and distilled in one place.
I could tell you tapping into that with the video element of it too, where it's you were this is every I forget what the exact thing was, but it was it's that thing of they're holding the piece of paper and going through the office, every office
the lip
video.
Dub,
yes. And I was oh my god, I remember my friends doing 303 lip dubs or whatever. They're drawing X's on their hands. You all simply must relate to this idea. No.
I don't know
No?
what this is.
I remember
Don't know
the
much.
holding paper and bringing things or whatever, dropping
Or it
the
would be
page.
a one-take video that they would do.
I'm in one. Wait, I was gonna tell you I'm in one.
Really?
Dude, yeah. My friends in college. Okay, that thing where it's it's a house party, and it's your friend's band is the song, but the music video just is the house party.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Like
it's
last
kind of
Friday
staged.
night. The
Um,
Katy Perry music video.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Last
think,
Friday
yes,
night.
Yes. But it's like all one take, right?
I'll show
Yeah.
you afterwards,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Is it like
Shout
the
out
mannequin
Plainview.
challenge?
No.
Similar,
like one
similar,
take?
similar.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I think this is sort
Like,
of our
yeah.
5e.
Yeah.
Is
We are
showing.
really- yeah.
Is there an age difference here? Is that the idea? Is what you're saying?
Like a 5e. But this is like the
I'm
just
32.
Okay, I'm 31.
I'm 25.
I'm
There it is.
26.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
There it is.
I think that's why we don't know the
That's it.
thing.
Okay, I was like, you guys would have eaten
It's
the
like the
shit out of this.
period.
if you were like-
Totally.
you guys would know. Yeah.
I think it's like being a young adult versus a teenager in an
Okay,
office,
okay.
engaging with adults versus being in high school
Yeah.
at this time of music.
Yes. Well, I think we would have been in high school.
Oh.
For-
Yeah,
Or middle school, I
would've
guess.
So you guys would have been
maybe
even- you
early
guys would have been-
college. Yeah.
Really? I'm thinking-
Okay,
I would have been
started
2011,
college in
2012. Yeah.
2010. Yeah.
I remember
Gotcha.
loving Ophelia by the Lumineers. In,
Yeah, Stubborn
10
Love.
days.
Oh, yeah.
Stubborn Love.
Oh, I feel like we got
Cave.
little talk of Monsters and Men.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the one where it's like,
That
don't
was like,
listen to
yeah.
By the way, love this stuff. Your thing keeps popping up, and I keep thinking it's like a new band has come out with a new song, and I'm like, oh, finally, it's back. And then I'm like, wait.
But honestly, that's my favorite reaction to this in particular, but everything I do. I love it when people are like, you're right, but you can never make, this has not changed my opinion. I love this kind of music. That's my favorite reaction when people are like, they're like, I see what you're doing, but you can never make me not love it.
Yeah, I think I'm only getting lip syncs of people romanticizing your
Yeah,
song
yeah,
and
yeah.
being like, this is the best time of my life.
Oh, that makes me so happy. I love that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That feels very tender, actually, to be able to create a parody that kind of holds the genre as opposed to one that slaps it around.
Yeah, that's the goal, at least. I mean, if I do it well, that's what happens.
Yeah.
I hope. Yeah.
I've got a sort of general question. It's the idea of performing in character on stage, because I feel as though the three of you, I don't know to what degree you feel you perform in character, and then you, I don't know if you
100%.
switch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, because
so
I
I've come
have
to your show,
little
yeah.
interstitials where I'll be myself, which I've gotten better at, but that's been the hardest thing to learn is to be myself on stage.
Have you ever done a stand-up set for 10 minutes where it's just you?
Not since I first started.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And I went to your show, and you did I saw you do your hour, and I feel as though part of the through line was also that you were this blonde country singer for the whole time or something, or for
no,
maybe
only
part.
for a little bit, at the
I don't remember.
beginning.
I don't remember the exact idea. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's I'll because did you see me with the band?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was that in L.A.?
Yeah.
That was a weird show, but just because now that I
was all
perform with the
industry.
band, it's it was a lot of industry, and they were weird. But now that I play with a band, and each song is a different character, my new tour is going to be all standing room, because it's now become much more of a concert. Then it's a funny. I think of it now as a funny concert, not a comedy show with music.
Oh, that makes sense.
And
People are
so-
dancing. Yeah.
Yeah, people do dance and get up and get it, and now I realize with the band the seated shows are all way weirder, because it's sitting down for a rock band. It's
Do
weird.
people sing along?
Yeah, at first, some stuff
I've sang along.
definitely- Yeah,
I
yeah,
did.
so
Yeah,
fun.
yeah,
Well, it's
yeah.
cool. Yeah, that
Kill the
and
Englishman,
that's-
throw him in the sea.
Exactly, the Irish song is the best part of the show.
Because that was the one where
The
if
drum
we're in a
clap
pub.
along,
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry,
But
I clapped into the mic.
I like that you're away from it because
I
of
know,
your volume.
I know.
It's smart.
Yeah.
But I am taking that same question, and I am coming around. Who do you guys feel as though you are yourselves, or do you feel as you're doing different characters, or I don't know, or a heightened version of yourself? You're all in thought.
I feel like it's pretty much myself. Maybe it's poking fun of myself in a less I'm performing that I'm unaware. But it's well, I wouldn't be making the joke unless I knew that sounds stupid. That's the point.
Right.
But I still feel like I'm trying to figure out how to be more myself on stage, because I find that I'm so like, oh, like what would a person who does stand up talk like? And it's like, no, what would you say? So it's like I'm still trying to figure out how I could just be the way I am off stage, on stage more. So my end game is to it's just me. But I don't know if it feels that way yet.
I like what you were saying about like you're playing the fool.
Yeah,
like,
it's the same thing with like HBO Girls, where like people think Lena Dunham's stupid because Hannah makes bad choices, and it's like that's the whole point. She had to be smart to say that, like, or like people are like Marnie Michaels should kill herself, and I'm like that's the point, like that's the commentary. So it's like people, I find sometimes like people can just like miss that is the thing.
We talked about that a bit with subtext stuff.
Yeah.
Can I reveal?
What was it?
It was my class.
Oh yeah, I took a class with Benny Drama.
Yeah.
Wrong, Benny.
But we talked about that a bit of just like when like a white guy plays the fool, the audience like kind of gives this implicit grace of like, yes, he is playing the fool, but when like a woman or a person of color plays the fool, some people in the audience go like, ah, yes, an idiot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's so obvious, like if you do a certain mic, like people are laughing at like at you instead of like at the joke. And it's like,
what do you do about that? Like, what are your safeguards? Or
I'm
what
just
are you
like, no worries, y'all.
Is it like it's just not for that people, or do you like you?
I mean,
do
I'm
not
like,
let
you
them
know what? They're
get
still
you.
laughing. Who cares? A laugh's a laugh, even if it's mean spirited.
There is such a thing where it's like, I know I'm being funny. I'm holding the mic. Like, I'm kidding. Where sometimes, one time I had this joke about one of my roommates having heat madness. And someone kept bringing it up to me and being like, it's so funny that he has heat madness. And finally I went, I made that up. Like, that's not a real disease. And he was like, oh, that's why I thought it was funny. And I was like, no, it's a joke I wrote. Adults in the 21st century don't have heat madness. And I just, and the person didn't mean any harm, but I was like, I just think if I was a man, you would have known that I was just being goofy. But because I said it deadpan and am a woman, you just thought I was like repeating a funny fact. And I struggle with that a bit, where I'm like, no, I wrote this down and like am being goofy, you know?
Do you is that like just like a after the fact you go, no, I was kidding, or do you like, has that changed your writing at all? Like, has that like do you feel that pressure?
Sometimes I think I honestly just a little bit feel like if you don't get that I'm kidding, I don't know how to meet you in the middle. And it's not something I get like a ton. I think just demographically, the shows I'm performing on tend to have audiences that get my vibe. But it is frustrating to sometimes pop into other circles and feel like, how do you meet someone in the middle when fundamentally they don't understand that a woman could be being witty? You know?
Yeah, it's
literally.
It's like if somebody is straight up like, I don't know,
Yeah.
purely racist and sexist, it's like, well, don't even come to the show.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Right. How about you, Sila?
Back, I feel like I'm similarly trying to be more myself, but it's so hard to act like yourself when you're obviously scripted. And so I'm trying to like live into things that I'm saying more, and I've been using this to scratch my face.
Your trouble is that you are a fool, and so you have to try to convince the crowd that you're not.
Really unaware. But yeah, I'm trying to be looser generally, and like inject more of myself into just the in-betweens and like how I interact with people, and be more comfortable. Which because we talked about this yesterday. Sorry, we beat everyone to the punch already. But when I first started, I would go up and I would truly black out, and I like would not remember anything that I had said or how people responded. I could not tell you which jokes worked or didn't because I was just like not in my body. And so now even just being able to like pay attention to things that are happening, or like I always feel proud of myself when I can actually respond to something that happened or like a sound that somebody made, because I was like, oh, that means I was actually like being aware. I was like living, while it was happening. So I've really just been trying to practice those things, and I don't really feel like I have a character, but I feel like it would almost be I'm writing an hour right now, and that it's a one woman show, and that is really like a character version of myself, and I'm finding that fun, or it's like giving me opportunity to be more goofy, because I feel like stand-up sometimes is, or at least my stand-up, it's so straightforward. Just like writing like the standard structured jokes in like 5 to 7 minutes.
The
So I'm just
premise
like,
was really cool, by the way. You told me about the coos. I don't want to
yes.
reveal if you don't want to.
No, I think
Can I-
that's okay. It's in the blurb of the show, I guess. So
gotcha.
I will. But the premise is that in the last 2 generations of my family, we've lived through 4 military coups, and the second one happened the closing night of my middle school musical. So,
Yeah, that's so funny. That's crazy.
which is just so crazy, yeah. And so at the start is that it's like it opens and it's the musical, and then it gets canceled, and then it's basically just me like acting as though that coup was the worst thing that ever happened to me, and the drama of it far exceeded that of like all of my families. But actually the coups that my mom and grandparents lived through, that like made them political refugees. They had to leave through Burma, and she was undocumented when she came to the US, blah blah. So and then we came here, or they moved me here, and it's like both my parents have great financial success in this country, so it's like American dream vibes, and I'm just a spoiled child of immigrants. So I'm sort of going after the diaspora trauma thing. But the character version of myself is like very annoying, so it's pure fiction. Not real. But I am like trying to write in a voice that is annoying and that like people wouldn't like, and to me that's actually super opposite of what I try to do in stand-up. Like in stand-up / generally, I think I endear myself to people by being like sweet and effusive, and like I speak really hyperbolically about things, and so to me it's a really different instinct and voice, but it is fun to write as a character of yourself, because it just feels like you open the world a little bit more.
Can I give you a compliment and then cut you down?
Sure.
Okay. Well, it's not.
You're gonna
real.
call me annoying?
No.
And then
It's
gonna go down the road.
I think you'll. It's I really like your Substack.
Oh, thank you.
I think you're a good writer, and I don't say that to anybody, because oh my god, you ever read some of these people's Substack? You go, you're shoving up your ass.
I love all Substacks equally.
Yeah, that's true. There's a few there's some that are good, and then sometimes some will have like a really good one that you can tell they gave effort to, and it'll be their only one they ever do. You know what I mean? They like won't continue doing it because they're like, that was too much work or something. You know what I mean?
Which I mean is a greater discussion.
But yeah, yours were actually good and readable and actually interesting.
Thank
and then now time to cut you down.
Yes.
You're doing music comedy?
Yeah.
Oh, hey now you.
Yeah.
Not a real cut down. Just I knew that this idea of the one woman show is actually it's a musical as well.
Yeah. I guess it's like the
tearing you to shreds.
Is that it's supposed to be, it's like the
Your
musical
collateral
I never
damage.
My
Discuss. You two discuss.
It's supposed to be the musical I never got to do. So it's like me, whatever, seizing back the night.
Hey ho!
Forget I'm so
Seizing
me
back the night energy? Okay.
whatever, having my hour of stardom. Okay, great. But yeah, I have been. That's actually mostly what I've been watching on YouTube. Also, is songwriting tutorials. I've been finding it challenging because I've been like reteaching myself piano, reteaching from when I learned at the age of 10 and then stopped. So it's like quite fresh. And I'm trying to do a genre parody of something that I'm having a hard time with. I'm trying to like parody a diaspora poem. But it's like diaspora poetry is like a really specific genre, and I don't know that. And also the thing of like you want to hold the genre and not like come at it.
Yes.
That I really feel, because one, it's like it is such a meme, I think, especially in like Asian American immigrant communities, like the rupee core of it all. But it's like, yeah, I don't love that genre of poetry, and it is, I guess, a little bit of hack, but also I don't want to come at it too hard because it means a lot to many people, and it's kind of generational. But anyways, so
well, I want to the idea of holding it and not attacking. That's not kind of what you were saying before with the heave. Like it's like holding it, not necessarily being like a value judgment of like this is bad. Like just
totally.
being like, yeah.
And not to, I mean, in my experience, it's like you can sort of avoid that best by really leaning into like authenticity and precision. So it's like if it's a really close, authentic recreation of the genre, and you're like accurately and precisely identifying the tropes, then I think you'll be surprised. Because I've only really started to release genre parodies in music to like the public over the last like year and a half, and a lot of them especially with the first album, I was so worried as to how it would be received, like whether like people would view it as like cutting down something that they love. But in my experience, like when the things I've done have worked well, and some of them I was like worried about like how it would be received, even people who love it, as long as they can see that you are like decently knowledgeable about the subject that you're parodying, and it's like, and you've accurately identified all the like funny tropes, like they can see that it's, you know, even people who love and like cherish the genre can also be like, and that's what I was saying, like I love when people react this way of like, I love, an emo song I did like is a good example of that. Like they were like, I love, like emo kids come to my shows and like I'm doing a parody of emo in my set, and they're like, they love it because they're like, I love it. You can never make me stop loving it, but I get that these tropes actually do exist, and you're like right about it. So like, not to go on a long-winded thing, but like in my experience, that's been a good way to sort of like avoid coming across as like condescending.
Authentic precision, caring about it, doing real patterns. Yeah, that's kind of what you're trying to. Hell yeah.
That was insightful. But for the most part, all the music is like fairly simple, and I'm just playing and doing my best.
That's what's up, dude. I am curious. I'm curious about larger projects in general, and so that's what Sila's up there, dude. Also, now you're dying. It seems you choke on something. You're right, dude. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you're good.
Oh my god.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
And literally made her vomit.
This is a genre parody of a good podcast.
Yeah.
We're doing authentic.
No, I'm Sila.
Oh, please.
I have a bob and freckles, and I'm so sweet.
Was that Sila? No, that was.
This is Sila. This is Audrey. This is Sila. You understand?
Voice difference is uncanny.
I'm curious what you got, if you got a longer project, or if you're like still kind of feeling out the game. Because I saw you say that it was like your anniversary of doing stand up or something.
Oh yeah, well it is
Like
the
a
5-year
few
anniversary of the first time I ever did stand up. But of course, if you're doing the math, 5 years ago,
COVID.
Yeah, the world did immediately shut down.
Yeah.
And so then I didn't do it again like live for a really long time. But it was the first time I got on stage and like held a mic. I was studying abroad and like joined a sketch group abroad. So the first time I did stand up was for British teenagers.
Oh wow.
My literal dream.
Yeah. But yeah, I really feel like I've been doing it in a real way for maybe like 2 years, because I like after that didn't do it live for a really long time, just because I was never in a mic scene. I was just like doing stuff there, and then obviously I couldn't still participate in England and didn't know the Dallas, and then I moved back to Dallas and did stuff in the Dallas scene like
Totally.
a little bit later.
I guess my
Yes.
general question or idea is: do you yet have medium or long-term vision of it? Like, are you like, I would like to do a special, or I would like to write, or like do you have a goal architecture yet, or are you still like, let me see what I'm feeling generally?
I think my goal is maybe twofold. One is that I love doing Best Night Ever, and I am trying to do newer, fresher stuff each time. I feel
Better
like for
and better night each time.
more like that best time every single time.
Yeah.
More like I feel like in the beginning when I was really getting my sea legs performing, I like sorry, I'm super allergic to cats. Is it okay?
Are you really?
Cat?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna kick him out of here, dude.
Sorry.
Get the hell out of here. You're fucking out the flow, dude.
I'm so sorry, but if I'm in a room this small with the cat, I'm gonna get hived. So sorry. This is something that really derails my life because I'm friends with cat people. Like I really get along.
You
with
have a cat
people.
girl energy to you, so it's really inconvenient.
I can't touch them. I'm less allergic to dogs than I am cats, but I really can't be around small animals or animals.
So that's your long-term goal?
My long-term goal is to finally
Beat
be
cat
around
allergy.
animals.
Better friends who don't have cats.
Sorry. But yeah, I think just like getting better at hosting and trying to be braver with like trying really new stuff and just working it out in front of a big audience.
You're in an experimental phase. You're like,
Yeah.
you're kind of like, yeah, absolutely.
And the last couple of shows I've like got up and done like stuff that I had kind of tweaked and a few things that I hadn't even really, I don't know, just like trying to be braver and trust my instincts, and that's been good. And then I'd like to have I did like a taped 10 minutes in October that felt like, okay, it was with Cracked, so it was like that's that. And then I want to do a taped 20. I just don't want to jump straight to 30. I think sometimes people do that really fast, and I don't think that's my trajectory, because I think I could talk for 30 minutes. I think part of it is like having the stage presence to keep people's attention on you, and so that's something I'm working on. So I would say I love Fast Night Ever. I'm always trying to build that to be like bigger and stronger, and work on my hosting live. And then also I think my next like milestone for myself personally is just to have like a cohesive 20.
I feel that. I have my first 30 filmed, and you can see me fall apart like 15 to 20 in, and I'm just like, I start looking at my note cards between every joke. I like have them on the stool, and I'm like, all right, let's look in real quick, and like I'll be right back on track. And then I do it between every joke, and the momentum just dies. And yeah, maybe I'll send it to you so you can feel better about yourself. I start doing crowd work. Like it sucks. But yeah, so no, I feel you don't about jumping into that deep end.
But I can promo, I guess, even though we don't have any.
You actually got a 20 coming up?
We're splitting
like, hold hands.
an hour with
like...
Sila, and we're all doing twin.
Oh! You guys
at
are splitting
it? We've kind of just started planning.
You're splitting an hour.
We've been reaching out to venues, and to no avail.
Yeah. But we're eventually, at some point in the next couple months, we've decided that we all wanted to do 20 and have that be like our next thing. So at some point, we're doing 20.
What about that? Have you reached out to the gutter? Because I feel like that's been the main...
Yes.
Oh, yeah?
We've reached out to the gutter.
Honestly, so did I, and they didn't get back. So I don't know what that... Like, I'm like, are they paying attention to their emails? I'm like, what are we doing?
I think so many venues that we think of as comedy venues are actually so sick of hosting comedy shows. That's kind of the feedback we're getting.
Yeah, no talking shit about people in the scene, but buildings in the scene.
Yeah.
Fair game, yeah.
Well, it's like, you would be surprised who we've emailed you that you would think does comedy all the time that's been like, actually, we're not taking more comedy shows. Like, it's not even about...
Why wouldn't they like it, though? I feel like it's like free money.
I know.
You know?
Yeah, it's so cheap to put up.
Like, my favorite is like, well, like the Bell House is a perfect example of a venue that so clearly, like, as soon as they could make the transition, I think, from like music to comedy, because I think back in the day they used to do more bands and stuff, and I think they were like, once they started getting like a comedy scene going, they're like, we're never going back, like, just because it's such a bigger headache to put on any comedy's the easiest thing to put on.
Less messy.
Anytime.
It's like a guy on a microphone.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Anytime you have to move a drum kit.
Yeah,
your day is just worse.
Right.
Oh my god.
But I do think like people going to do stuff would rather go see a bad music show than a bad comedy show.
True.
So for a venue's perspective, if they're like trying to like build a vibe or like kind of like, what is it called? Status in like Brooklyn's like nightlife, becoming like seen as like an indie comedy venue where like they don't necessarily get to see like who's performing, what the vibe is. It's better for them to like have a band. Plus ticket sales you can charge more for music, and people who go to music shows typically drink
more. Yeah, they're able to walk to the bar and whatnot.
Yeah, so like if they're thinking of like hosting a comedy night versus like a music night, they're looking at like double the sales in alcohol if they like host a band.
Also coming to you now. But also yeah, I mean, I like hearing about these like kind of what's happening with people's like you know, what are you up to in the scene, and what's you know what I mean? And so I'm curious, like do you have some you got
what's
these
your
podcasts?
What's your
like, that
what's
kind of
my
like
big project?
What's your project? You got any like thing you're working on?
Kind of a classic. Like I hope people listen to my podcast and come to my live shows. But no, ultimately, like I kind of want to be like Alex Cooper, kind of like or like Reese Witherspoon. Like my end game is of course to be the CEO of like a company that tells women's stories and like empowers a bunch of like female girl bosses.
So awesome.
Not to be crazy.
Oh, totally. That was genuine.
Yes.
Because I think you started. It did sound like a joke. That was a little bit of the opposite situation where I'm ready to listen to women be funny. But no, that's cool. With the podcast thing, like that took off more than like when you start doing a podcast. My own, for example, I'm like, I don't know why people listen to like I don't know why people listen. Welcome though, but it's like going well, right? Like people are like, you
Well,
actually
she's got
have
a
like a
hook.
good one. Like it's
And
like
it's
you have a good podcast
nostalgia.
that people are enjoying.
It's fun. I mean, I ultimately like would love to not have to do so much homework for a podcast just because it's like, oh, I really have to like dissect the show, and it's like me and Evan never claimed to be actually good at analyzing. We just wanted to be like quirky, and it's like then it became a thing where people wanted us to be like culturally like criticizing things, and we're like, actually we're just like comics in Brooklyn, like we don't know shit, and our guests don't know shit, like we're literally just trying to have fun. But now,
do people know that though, or have you gotten better at the criticism? Is that what you're saying?
I feel like we've posted so many things online that there was like a year in this turn where like for the first year we pretty much only got hate comments, and then suddenly people were like, oh, they are so smart at this, or like I trust what they say, and it's like, oh, just because like your brain saw me enough that your brain convinced you that now I'm a trustworthy voice, but I'm literally not different than I was day one. I mean, maybe I've gotten a little smarter, but I doubt it.
People who were being mean, like super fans.
Yeah, like there's a Reddit thread that's pretty they're roasting us in all the right ways. It's like, yeah, you're absolutely right. You should listen to people who are 30 instead of 24 talking about this. Like you'd be much happier listening to non-comedians talk about this from a like different point of view. But
did any of the criticism get to you in a way that you changed? And that's also an open thing of like, have you ever read a negative comment and gone like, yeah, I'm gonna change that now? Like, you know what I mean?
Never. It makes me want to double down on that.
absolutely, me and Evan definitely were like, we're gonna start sounding smarter.
I also want to know if you guys have like, if you have a worst comment, because I have one come to mind immediately. It was like they somehow had like a swastika symbol in their like handle.
Yeah, I get that.
And it was like his name was like,
that a bunch of
it was
times.
like White Wolf. His Abby was a wolf, and it was like somebody needs to kill this handicapped kike. And I was like, all right, yeah.
Well, I get it from both sides.
That's not constructive.
Yeah.
That's not constructive.
I'm like, tell me how I can improve. Sorry, what?
It's not constructive.
I get a lot of that.
You get a lot of. What do you mean from both? What do you mean from both sides? From the Jews?
Yeah, well, it's like, I get it from like anti-Semites and then
Semites?
also Jews who are like, stand up for your race.
That's
Like
funny.
you're a race traitor.
Wait, I don't get any of that.
Oh yeah, I get.
Wait, are you? But is that because you're saying stuff that is like pro-Palestine and like they're noticing that, or is it like
they're like, it's like, because I do a character that's like a female country singer, and that's I'm not talking. You know, it's like because I'm not addressing any of it. So
really?
Yeah. So
I feel like I look Jewier. Why am I getting? Why am I getting?
Well, word got out about me.
Yeah, no.
Like,
I don't think I'm a secret. I don't think people can't tell.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Word got out about you.
Well,
What,
it's
in
just- it's
like
just
the Jerusalem
public
Post or
information
something?
Yeah, I have. Well, actually, yeah, I have done it. Not the Jerusalem Post, but like when Planet of the Bass came out, like, you know, fair game. It's like every Jewish magazine was like, "Oh, a Jew's behind this." So I did an interview with every like what was it, like the Jewish Times of London, the Jewish.
Kike today.
Yeah,
Sorry.
exactly, yeah. Every.
We the two Jews? Are we the Jews?
What?
Yeah.
You guys aren't Jewish?
We're not Jewish.
No.
Two of you. Okay. You're
Yeah.
Texas.
Yeah, we grew up in the
Protestants.
church. We're Protestants.
But lots of people think I'm Jewish because of my vibe.
See that?
You know what I would read you as? The sort of person people would guess is Jewish, but incorrectly.
Thank you for seeing me.
Yeah, we're very much girls that grew up in like the Protestant Texas church.
Yeah. Although I find people when I say I'm from Texas are like, oh, I never would have guessed that. And I'm like, why not? I'm doing, I sometimes I'm like, but you don't understand. Like, I'm actually doing what is like, they're like literally perfectly.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't understand. I was so good at monogram.
People don't know what Texas is like. I mean, people are like, so it's like the desert.
Yeah, they're like,
No.
say you rode horses to school.
Yeah, can't. I'm horribly allergic.
You're allergic to horses?
Yeah, I'm allergic to everything.
What's going on with you?
Yeah, I went to Girl Scout camp and 5 minutes into the 2-hour horseback ride up mountain, we learned I have a pretty severe allergy.
No,
And then-
allergies are
Oh, wow.
a state of mind.
And then the horse got spooked by an armadillo and ran off with just me. And because it was a narrow mountain path, I had to steer it back, but my face was swelling, so I couldn't really see. And then we got off the horse. My mom took me to the drugstore nearby, and the man thought I had a really horrible disease.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
bringing up the armadillo thing, it like really isn't helping our case for what people think Texas is like.
That's the one time.
That is crazy. You had to like blindly-ish
It's
like
my-
drive a
I
like,
have, like, such a
anaphylactic shock. Like,
Severe allergy that like my eyes will start to swell, so I'm
but on horseback? Oh my god.
Sucks.
Oh wait, also, I don't know if people are looking at this to see
No,
time
I've
or
just
just the
been
wave.
seeing when I've been talking.
Oh, nice. Okay. I'll just do a quick the vibe check. How are you feeling? Anybody need to run? Anybody want to run?
I've lost all
Soon?
sense of time.
I'll give you. I'll let you soon. I see it in your eyes. If you want, I don't know. It's up to you.
It's 6
It's-
hours later.
Am
and
I
I feel
getting?
like it's
am I getting?
time.
Am I getting enthusiastic, wanting to be here?
I might need to use the bathroom.
You can do
soon.
that,
I've
dude.
drank
Yeah,
my whole
yeah.
water
I might
bottle.
even. Yeah. Shit.
Should we take a 5?
We can take a 5 while it's still going.
Okay, so we'll just keep
Let's
going.
take a 5. Let's take a 5 while it goes. Let's pretend it's off, and then everybody can just put the mics
Okay,
down if
I'm
you
just
want.
gonna like be myself.
Yeah. If anybody wants water, we're taking 5, but the camera's gonna keep running, so you can see what that's about. Everybody, check your phones.
Yeah, I missed my phone. That was a huge break.
This is a funny idea. I like this. Oh wait, I was gonna check my phone, but I forgot
It's in there.
my phone's the one recording. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to hear anything they say in this time frame.
Now we can talk shit. Oh.
Yeah, we can.
Fuck, block,
Yeah.
and X and Y and Z.
Can you cut this?
I can cut that specific moment.
Okay.
I'm going to Disney World next month.
Whoa!
I'm so excited. I love it there.
I've never been
What?
to any of the Disney anything.
No, come with me.
I think it's
Every girl should get to go to Disney World.
go in a group.
I'm going with my stepmom and my stepsisters, and my dad's coming at the end. My stepmom texted me and was like, we have so many points on a very specific credit card that can only essentially be used at Disney World, and they have to be used soon. Do you want to go? And I was like, absolutely I do. I'm
That's
26
so-
years old. There's nothing I'd rather do.
Wait, do you know what credit card?
I don't. I didn't ask.
Crazy. Is Disney World the one in LA?
That's Disneyland.
Florida.
But my sister's like 12, and it's like teens at a theme park. That's like the meaning of life.
That's so fun.
I'm ready. You didn't miss much.
Yeah, wait. Can you guys say everything you just said again? Just so I'm part of things.
I'm going to Disney
When?
March 7th
Have you been before?
or 11th. I've been so many times.
Are you going with your family, or are you going like solo trip? Find yourself.
It's just
vibe?
a fight. I'm finding myself in Disney World.
Wait,
Imagine.
that's so funny. That's such a funny premise.
I wouldn't put it past myself.
I honestly like. I was kidding, but then I imagine if you'd been like, yeah, I would have locked in immediately. I would've
Yeah,
been
of
like,
course.
for sure.
For sure. It's like, I'm gonna find myself in the animal kingdom.
Well, I wouldn't be shocked if they had some find yourself yoga retreat at Disney. I feel like they've got everything. You know?
Totally. Ugh, I wish that yoga retreat had fixed me, but
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm excited to watch By Lotus.
It was. It lacked, I thought, the subtlety of some of the other 2 seasons, but
Mhm.
I'm still excited. For the rest.
I feel like it would be
Nice.
so much pressure to be a writer for that season.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think. Did they have writers, or did Mike White just write the whole thing?
Oh, is that what he does?
I think he just does it. But that should be
That's a lot.
fact checked.
Fact checker. We
Yeah,
should have
because
got a fact checker.
season 1 and 2, it's like, okay, now the form is like fully established, or like season 2 was so establishing for what it will be, and it was so good also.
Yeah.
It is a lot of pressure for season 3.
The season 2 of every show is so good, usually.
Yeah. But I find that the cast for this season is not as hot as the first two. And that is kind of a huge part of the appeal.
Yeah, the second season had a really gorgeous cast.
Yeah.
I mean, Aubrey Plaza is so charismatic.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with Megan Fahey.
Oh my god, yeah.
Bring her back.
Yeah.
Although she's doing a horror movie, and I wish it wasn't horror because I like her, but I hate horror.
Yeah.
I'm like, be in a movie I want to see.
You guys want to come back in?
Yeah.
Welcome back. How we feel? I've been enjoying doing these big groups because like having one person on at a time is a lot of fun, but then I'm also like, it's cool to get the dynamic between the people and see the, you know what I mean? Because people are like, oh, I have this thought. I don't know. You guys ever watched The Green Room with Paul Provenza?
Oh, is that the punk band one? No. That's I'm thinking of what's the one where the horror movie about the punk band gets attacked by the white supremacists?
That's not it.
Is
That's
that
not
the
it.
Green Room? Damn.
No. Okay. This is essentially what The Green Room with Paul Provenza was.
Oh,
It
yes,
was,
yes.
You guys might recognize.
Because you sent it to me as a reference when describing what we were gonna do.
Yes, exactly. It's comedian Paul Provenza would have these comedians on in this green room. They did it in front of like a live audience though, so that's where it's different and can't be sued. Can't sue me for this.
Who's Paul?
He was I don't know exactly.
What's his last name?
Provenza. He was a comedian.
Okay,
This you might recognize like clips of this where it's like an episode where it's like Bo Burnham, Ray Romano, Judd Apatow,
I don't
Gary
think
Shandling,
Amelia is gonna recognize
Mark Maron,
my favorite
all
guy.
on the same spot.
Just that one.
Exactly.
All of us.
Exactly.
Knowing your taste,
Exactly.
Yeah.
you have seen.
So this is that, but now is kind of.
I
the
gotta
idea.
check it out. Anytime I watch anything that like a man is in, I'm like legit proud of myself. I'm like, I'm doing the work.
Field research.
Yeah.
So awesome.
I just started Severance.
Oh, that's
I
great.
started Severance
me too.
And it's
too.
so good, but I literally was like writing in my journal, like just started Severance, wish there were more girls in it.
I was thinking about that, where it is just a lot of like
pilot-
nervous men.
It's nervous men, and then it's like, okay, I like the brother or the sister, the pregnant sister, but then it's like, why does her husband get to be having so many lines?
I actually agree and feel the same way. So,
Yeah.
but I also started Severance this weekend just 'cause I feel like everyone's talking about it and I needed to finally put in the work and
Did you guys
get
get
it
to?
done. I'm not caught up though. I'm in season
Well, I was
2
just
now.
saying, have you seen?
The first 2 episodes.
Oh, have
Okay,
you seen?
farther than me.
Oh,
I watched season 1 over
Can I-
over the last
I have
couple
not
days.
been so
I'll
much
just-
paying attention.
I just want to. I'll say just this one thing, which is do you guys know Rajat?
Pardon?
You guys know the comedian Rajat and Jeremy? He's in the show, and it's like you just go like, oh shit, it's Rajat.
Wait, I did recognize.
Well,
I was like, that's a comedian.
That's
He's
how
very
I feel
briefly
about
in the show.
Is it Zach Cherry? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, you're a UCB improviser.
Yeah.
That was my experience. I was like, you're really good at the Herald.
Well, I got really into What We Do in the Shadows. I'd watched a lot of it over the years, but I like did a big rewatch, and almost every guest star is like a comic. If it's not like a big name famous person, look, they do have one joke where they bring in the guy from Impractical Jokers, and they act like he's gonna be a guest star, but then they get annoyed with him and kill him immediately. So they do that to
so
famous people,
funny.
but then every like character that shows up for like 2 to 3 episodes is fully like Jamie Lynn Watson is in an episode, and
shit.
like Veronica is cool is in an
Oh,
episode.
shit. I stopped watching.
yeah.
I haven't watched the latest season or 2.
It's
but, yeah.
really, I just think the
Very
writing
funny,
is
though.
really good, and the characters, it's so character driven and not plot driven in a way that I like. Like they usually have like one overarching plot per season that they kind of like abandon and come back to and abandon and come back to, and I just like character driven comedy.
The movie was so good too. But,
Yeah.
Kristen Shaw in the show, she's great.
She's
Yeah.
great.
That's like the ability to go from like, because she was like an alt comic.
Yeah.
When I was earlier when we were talking about like shows that were in the scene before, I think she might have had like a show that was like there's like a time where it was like Kristen Shaw was part of the. Imagine
Like a
being part
live
of this
show,
Brooklyn
yeah.
scene in like 2012, and it's just like
Yeah.
you hanging out with John Mulaney and Christian Shaw and Pete Holmes and Reggie Watts or who I don't even know what the hell that was going on, but I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of neat.
People will be saying that about this.
Yeah, they're like, wow.
Oh yeah.
Unless
Could've been on
unless
Benny's
it's
podcast,
over.
too bad. They shot him into space. Yeah.
Do you guys think it will get shot into space? Do you think it will go?
I
to
don't
space?
think. I think they're shooting people into space, but it will not be us.
Yeah, we're not going.
Yeah, I'm not going.
I'm not going.
I'm not
going.
going.
I don't really want to. I don't understand
Too scary.
how like apocalypse shows happen because I'm not convinced that people want to live that bad.
I
felt the
totally
exact
agree.
same way. I was talking about. I was watching Severance with Alex, and I was talking to her about this, where I was like, I know that in an apocalypse zombie situation, I'm killing myself. If I don't have access to running water and can't take a shower, like I'm letting myself die. I don't have that dog in me. I don't care. But what do you do in a situation that's Severance, where it's like you're kind of being psychologically tortured? And I was trying to figure out if I would be like really trying to give out or when I would give in. But I think in apocalypse, if I'm physically uncomfortable, I'm caving immediately. I don't like to be dirty. I don't like to be tired. I won't live a life where I have to be that most of the time.
I'm just like they'll do like girls will get like fall in love and get married and have children in the apocalypse. I'm like,
Yeah.
I won't even do that right now. Like, why would I do that in those circumstances?
That's that Sex and the City line. In Manhattan, you're always looking for like a job, a boyfriend, or a new apartment. In the apocalypse, you're always looking for all three.
Okay, Sex in the City head over here.
I watched a few episodes, and I was really like, this is deeply unrelatable from a financial perspective. And I had to stop. It was good. It was really well written, though.
I unfortunately watched it after I watched like Broad City and Girls, and for me, I'm just like, oh, they are always like dealing with these boys. Like they should go have some fun. Like, like I'm so like past the like thing of like centering men like that. So I'm like, God, what? But what does Samantha do on her night off?
yeah.
Is that okay? We've got Sex and the City. Are girls in Broad City in conversation explicitly with Sex and the City in some, like, are they a response to?
Totally.
I feel like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely. But I think it's
Awesome.
like
Nice.
I think Girls is so like the millennial version, but it's also like Sex and the City, they're in their 30s. They already know what they want. They've already kind of established themselves. But Broad City and Girls, it's like they don't know what they want to be when they grow up. They don't have any kind of clear idea or like structure around like what they think is right and wrong necessarily, in the way that like I think Sex and the City is also written as like those are 4 vignettes of like a type of person, whereas like Girls in Broad City seem a little bit more like random or like
Situational, maybe.
yeah.
I don't know if that's. Maybe I haven't seen enough, but that's I've
But
seen a bunch
sorry,
of Broad
that's
City.
like boring to talk
No,
about.
it's
No,
genuinely
literally,
very
I
interesting.
asked. Literally, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm interested.
Well,
Yeah.
Broad
I like seeing
City-
how the culture changes. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I watched Broad City for the first time like a couple months ago. I watched it, and the thing I just kept thinking about, and it's kind of similar with Girls, is that it starts when they're so young, and the longer it runs, and the more they don't learn, the more it starts to be like, oh no. Where like when you're like 22 and you're in like a situationship with that guy Lincoln, and you're like running around and getting drunk all the time and you have no money, but then by the end she's starting like 29, 30, and
Yeah,
she's
it's like,
acting the
girl,
same,
get
and
a
it's starting to be
job.
like, I'm not laughing anymore because I'm worried about you. Like I
Oh, man.
can't. And Girls was that way too, where like by the end I was like, you guys, you can't keep learning the same lessons.
Yeah, we always talk about that in the show where it's like Abby Jacobson and Alana Glazer had to be so smart and so organized and so competent to like do what they did, but then they're writing for like a version of themselves that never did that. So I'm like, if they're on season 5 of Broad City, it's like they were never those people that they're now having to write stories about like them messing up, and they're like really like they're like directors and like producers and stuff. So it's like, yeah, what would a girl who never stopped like working at a gym like be up to? Like,
Yeah.
how do you write for that still?
Because the characters are such self-inserts, but then they go in the opposite direction, where like the characters want creative things. Like Abby wants to be an artist, and she like draws all the time, and she wants to be an artist, and then it starts to be like, but you've never put this dream into action, and you're getting older, and you live in the city with all the artists, but all you do is your day job, and like there's no, it just starts to be like, at first you're like, this is what young people are like, and then it starts to be like, well, you're recycling the same You can't let these characters grow because then the show wouldn't be interesting. But if the characters don't grow, what they're doing is scary.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But I mean, by season 4 and 5, they like end up like having a bit of growth, just because I think they were like, well, we need to.
Yeah.
This is the only part of me that's in frame, by the way.
Yeah. Well, that's why I liked the way they ended it. Just because I felt like for a couple seasons I'd started to be like, you guys have to change, and they make really big changes in the final like 2 episodes.
Yeah.
How long did it? When did it? How many seasons did they do?
Thank you for asking. So
Absolutely no problem whatsoever.
they did 5 seasons, and they were on contract with Comedy Central for 6, but they were like, we want to end it after 5.
Can I tell you something? Okay, I met Alana Glazer one time, and I said to her, because it just came to me like kind of in that moment because it kind of triggered. I was like, Broad City reminds me of my ex-girlfriend. And she
What was her
like,
response?
she kind of went, oh, because you watched it together, and I was like, yeah. And then
That is so funny.
yeah.
That was good.
And I was yeah. It was an embarrassing moment, but also positive.
I know. I'm so scared to actually meet these people because I know I won't be cool about it. And that sucks.
Absolutely.
One time I saw Akon at Disney World, and I was like, Sean Kingston sucks. And that's what I said.
I'm not sure I get that. Speaking of
It's
which,
like-
speaking
well,
of these
also this
references,
was
coming
like,
back to
I
that.
don't get it.
This was like 2008 or 9. And you know Sean Kingston, beautiful girl.
Oh, was he the main competitor to Akon at the
Yeah.
time? Okay, gotcha.
Kind of. I just thought of another R&B singer.
Did he like it?
No.
Okay.
He's like, he said, Sean's my friend.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Are people weird to you? Is that
Surely.
no?
No, I mean, yes, but not really. Like, usually when people say hi to me, they just, like, there haven't been a lot of really...
They go, Benny Feldman sucks.
Yeah. Benny's my friend! Yeah, people
Can I do a,
aren't really weird.
can I do a?
honestly.
This is
Like,
maybe a weird. This feels annoying to mention, but I'm gonna do it anyway. But in like it's kind of, I think it's a fun idea. It's annoying from like a I got recognized and you got recognized we were in line at a bar. And these two friends,
Oh, at
one
this-
of them
at that show?
one of them recognized you, one of them recognized me, and they were both like not impressed with the other one of us. And like the one that recognized you was like, it's Kyle Gordon, and I don't know.
Is
It's,
that in LA?
yeah.
Yes.
And like they like both didn't.
That was awesome. That was
So-
great. That's how it goes with me and Jacob, who I've done a lot of videos
Jacob Kaplan.
with.
Oh, yeah.
Jacob Kaplan. And that
Shout out.
happens, sometimes.
Sorry, that was
No, yeah,
that felt like a
That's funny.
But you see it, yeah.
Yeah, that was
But I was like,
yeah, but yeah.
let's talk to our respective fan of that friend group.
Yeah. That was a really nice moment, actually. Yeah. But yeah, no, most of the time, like, well, my girlfriend is from New York, so what she hates is when people, like, yell, like, on the street, just because, like, she just, like, you're walking on the streets of New York, to, like, don't scream. Like, she's like, you know. So, other than that, it's cool.
Do you get people singing?
Yeah, like, especially around, like, playing the bass time, more of that, but not really so much. Yeah. Also, I, like, usually have headphones in, so, like, by the time, like, I have to take it out, so, like, the initial moment has, like, dulled, because I've, like, had to be, like, you know, like, it's taken, like, 5 seconds of, like, calming down.
That makes sense. I get a little bit of a weird thing where, especially if my Tourette's is more chill, and I'm like not fully like people don't, you know what I mean? People don't know me to that same level. So people sometimes go like they're kind of like trying to tell if they know me from, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then but I'm like kind of like You know what I mean?
Him. The guy I know is.
But then if I do, I don't know. Maybe it's like I don't know something. I don't know. But sorry, it feels annoying to say, but it does happen, and it's a lived reality, and I find it interesting to talk about.
I'm not annoyed.
I'm definitely annoyed.
I'm not annoyed.
Do you get recognized from the pod?
I always hate
question.
girls who listen to or girls who watch girls tend to actually be way cooler than me, and like like they have really cool hair and cool outfits and stuff, and so it's like I'm always being like, hi, it is so nice to meet you, and they just like are cool, and they're like being cool, and I'm just like, well, now you know I'm literally not. So it's almost like
Oh, shit.
I really they know about jewelry in a way I don't.
Wait, okay. This is you, but also is the podcast. Evan also blew up for that like specific outfit that people were.
Yeah.
And do people recognize him from that? They were like,
Yeah,
it was a really rude
Evan gets
dunk.
recognized for being a meme on Twitter because he wore a crazy outfit on the subway.
Oh, totally separate from the podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great.
But it's always like Evan will constantly like getting something, and then the comment will be like, "That's that they them from the video podcast,"
Really?
which is awesome. But
I was there the first time you got recognized. Do you remember?
Really? When
It was.
was it?
I remember you said that was the first time. It was. You were hosting your open mic, long RIP. And we walked outside Fiction, and there were girls sitting, and they were like, "It's Amelia and Evan." And then you
And they
guys
had
did
cool
"Girl, what
outfits.
girls are you?" And then you were like, "That's the first time that's happened."
Yeah.
It's kinda
Oh
cute.
my god, it was Fiction Bar.
It was a long time ago.
Throwback.
Throwback.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Have you guys had it yet? Has it occurred?
Sila's friend recognized me in a bar from knowing Sila
Yo!
just a week ago.
Major.
Yo!
But I'd never met her, and I think I maybe had done your show. So it was
I
kind
think
of
she'd
funny.
seen
That counts.
Where I was like, I'm not important. You
Let's
just
go.
met me once, but in a way where I didn't also meet you. Because she was like, where do I know you from? And we pieced it together.
I actually did get recognized once from Twitter,
Ooh.
and it was in the park, and I was running in Prospect Park, and then there was a guy, and this is before I had contacts, before I wore them, and I don't run with glasses on, so I like couldn't really tell, but I thought he was looking at me for way too long while I was like running at my face, and then I went home, and this was like after. This is like I'd stopped using Twitter already because it was the Elon takeover was not fun anymore, and then he had DM'd me, and then he asked me out on a date.
That classic
Yeah.
going for a run to being asked out on a date pipeline.
Yeah.
Actually, I recognized you
From
from
Twitter.
Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like we were mutual, so it doesn't count as.
Were we mutuals by then? I
I
don't know
don't
if I
remember.
don't know if we had were
We
we?
were peers.
We were peers. We were peers.
In the same
That's
Twitter
true.
circle. Because I definitely, when I moved here, like,
That's true. Same Twitter.
knew
circle.
everyone from Twitter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was definitely an era, I feel like, for like our like class, like people that started around the same time where we
Did
had
you
all
recognize
kind of
from
met
Twitter?
on Twitter. What?
Did you get recognized from Twitter at all?
I never got recognized from Twitter unless it was other people like who were also super on Twitter. But it wasn't like a, I know your tweets. It was like a we're mutuals.
Is that? But also, are you like not doing like? Because some Twitter people are doing like, here's a selfie of me, like often. You know what I mean? I feel like you're not doing that.
I wasn't doing that.
You know
But
what I
I
mean?
think it was like
but
Alex
you would,
Murdoch.
but you would be getting recognized. I think you would be getting recognized more if you had. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll post more. Go back in time, post more selfies.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like Alex Murdoch and Sila were people that I was friends with online, and like you can tell that we like have a lot of mutuals. And like when I showed up in New York, we were going to all the same places, but I felt like we knew each other from meeting on Twitter. But that's different than like
That's how I knew
a
Cameron.
stranger coming up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's different from a stranger being like, I know your Twitter account. You know?
Totally.
Sometimes in my college, people would be like, "You're the Twitter girl."
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
but
that's what I'm
like,
thinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I
Like,
met Jacob.
Yeah, Twitter.
oh.
Planner.
Yeah,
Twitter.
Jacob and I were in a group chat during all of quarantine called, what was it? It was like Twitter board or like Twitter feedback board, and so all of his this is like before he went viral this first time. Any character video he would like send in that group chat, or then we were all doing videos and we would just send it to that one group chat. So I was there from the beginning.
Speaking of, do you guys have like a friend that came to like a first mic or something, or like do you have like a friend who kicked you into stand up, or was it early? No. You You guys all were like
No,
solo
was-
gunning it.
They actively.
They were like, "Don't do it."
discouraged-
Really, really.
I'm like, no one's ever encouraged this
Yeah.
for me at all.
No. I did bring to my first mic. It was in Ohio because I went to school in Ohio, and I like brought all my friends to. It's actually online. If you look up Kyle Gordon Columbus Funny Bone 2013, and I'm doing a character like it's like a hack alt anti bad stand up type of thing. I'm wearing like a Hawaiian shirt. It's really bad, but it's online.
I will look it up. I'll play
It's
the
not
clip
about
here.
being good. It's about being online. And I've always known that,
Yeah.
and I've always said that, and I continue to stand by it.
Were you gonna say one that you had as well? Did you have like people?
No one's ever wanted me to do this. But I'll say I'm somebody who I am addicted to like being like, you need to be doing that. Like I'm addicted to being
yeah.
like, come to this. You're doing this. Stop. Like I often am friends with people who are like a lot more talented than me, but have a lot less like wanting to leave the house. And I'm like, you're a star, you need to come so people will find out.
That's very humble of you. But then
It's almost
think
just
you're being
like
friendly.
it's almost like I'm like, I need you to go over there or I'm pissed. You're making me look stupid right now by sitting at home. Go get signed by UTA.
Have you had success with this? Do you feel as though you've like specifically been like, I'm so happy that this specific person's doing stand up or something? Like, have you told a friend to do stand up and they did it?
What's your success rate?
Oh no! I just don't know if you. Yeah, in a good way though. Not your rate. But
I don't think
stories.
I don't
you know,
think any times where it's like, I think that's coming.
Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah. You got
I
some
think we're
irons
getting
in the
close
fire.
to that, and everybody stay tuned because I think all my friends will be very successful.
Okay, so the person that got me into stand up, I then a decade later was like, you also come back in. You know what I mean? Like you should do it. You know what I mean? So that's kind of a.
Oh really?
We'll have him on the pod. We'll talk about it. Shout out Lauren Ellis. Yep.
I think Audrey was my first real friend in stand up.
Oh,
It was like
really?
my truly or like going to mics it was so scary for me because I was intimidated by everyone when I first started, especially because I knew so many people online actually, and I was like, oh my god, these people are so amazing on the internet. I can't talk to them. I had a lot of like idolizing when I first started. And Audrey was like my first real friend who made me, I was like, okay, well, if I'm going to a space, then I have her and I feel okay being there.
That's so sweet.
That's lovely. That rules.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's great.
Sila was first friend in stand up really. Like I feel like we both really got into this scene around the same time, and we had known each other on Twitter and like would text and like call before we'd ever met in person. Like Sila and I, you know when you just like, I know we're gonna be friends when we finally live in the same city.
I think I tapped into that when I was like, who should I have on the pod? You know what I mean? I was like, this collection of people.
Yeah, this is a very interesting collection of people.
Oh yeah. Well,
Would you reveal your thought process?
Sure. Kyle was supposed to do like a week. Kyle was supposed to do the last one, and so got bumped forward. And then I was like, well, I want to have. Let's see. One of you guys was the first one, and then it was kind of a chain from there. Who I thought it would be good vibes.
Heard.
I think it might have been you first, and then
Nice.
Sila, and I ran.
These are amazing women.
I ran
to
into you
think
at a
of.
bar, and I was like in an embarrassed state because I was on like a sort of pseudo date. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Forget about that. I don't know. I was just like, I want to talk to Amelia in a better context.
Well, I'm very excited that these are the women you associate me with. That's high praise, really.
Yeah, hashtag slay and Kyle.
Yeah.
Sorry, not to other you.
I feel like you're each the three female versions of my own personality. Like.
When I had my Hinge dating stint, it's like I think I had like stand up or comedy as like one of the like 10 interests in the thing. But of course, everybody was like, "Oh, let's go to a comedy show like as a date," and I was like, "I am not going to my friend's show with you."
I remember one time a friend brought, and I won't say his name. He's a good guy, but he did bring a date to an open mic. Was
Oh my god.
He's
like,
a good friend of
wow.
yours.
Yeah.
Poor
he's good friend of ours.
judgment. Oh.
But you know what?
yeah.
Some girls are down for whatever.
Yeah. He was
Sure.
also kind of like he walked in and handled it with complete confidence.
Okay.
And yeah, respect.
Fucking, you ever have somebody ask to come to a show? Like I've done, okay, they'll be like, I'd like to come to one of your shows as like a first date. And it's like, that's ridiculous.
No,
No.
I
Like,
don't
no, you know
want
what I mean?
someone I'm interested in romantically to see me do stand up until the vibe has been consolidated.
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Do you even
friends.
tell people?
Yeah.
I tell people when I see them, but it's I actually just recently deleted all my apps. Brag. But not because of anything, just didn't want to anymore. But I don't have it anywhere on my profile, or I didn't, and then I tell people about it only when I'm there. And about the middle.
That's a cool. That's a
Wait,
cool
what's that last part? What?
In the middle of the date. Like, she doesn't lead with it.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, okay, yes, absolutely. I do lead with it because it's what I've got going on, and I don't know what else to say. I don't know.
I try not to bring that up.
Yeah.
But
Really?
If it doesn't come up, I wouldn't bring it up.
yeah, and it like doesn't usually, because
Does it have an ick factor to you?
absolutely.
But both. How about for self and for other?
I would never date a comedian. That's crazy.
That's
That's
But they're-
sick and twisted. And anyone with self-respect should not date a comedian. First of all. Second of all my friends deserve love and happiness. Yeah, I just am like, unless that is my actual job, then it doesn't count. Is how I feel of like, well, if somebody like does intramural volleyball and they're like, yeah, I'm a volleyball player. I'm like, no, you work in marketing. Like, so I guess, yeah, I'm just like that. But that's just me.
Do you guys get the ick from self and others? That's good. That's a good.
For me, I think talent is so awesome, and I am so often I'm like attracted to people based on a talent alone, but that talent is never stand up. Like for me, that's not an impressive thing to be good at.
That's funny.
And maybe it's because I think that I see it. Maybe I like see it too much, so the magic of it is ruined, I guess. But yeah, it's not a talent I respect. So it's not necessarily ick, but it's not like, yeah,
A selling point.
Yeah.
I don't have a super strong take on it, honestly. I feel like we are doing stand-ups and meeting people through stand-up, and it's so much more fun to meet people in person than like apps or whatever. So I kind of feel like everyone's like, I wouldn't date a comedian, and then they just meet a comedian they like.
Well, recently I've been crushing a lot in the improv scene.
Okay, which is worse.
I stand by. Wait, I really stand by having crushed on people who are really good at improv, because it means 1, they're good listeners. 2, they're team players.
Oh.
Try arguing.
And then
I've been in a committed relationship for like collectively for the last 10 years, except one crazy 6-month period in the middle.
oh shit! Can I ask, does doing stand up have any like weight to her? Does she care one way or the other?
Yeah, I mean she's
She
like
likes
she's
I assume she likes the comedy.
yeah. She and total respect to her, does not see me live anymore unless I like specifically ask.
Nice.
And like if she was still going, I was like, why do you still want to see this? But so yeah. What was the question? Like
it's like, do you feel as though stand up? You do try to? I guess it's a bit different for you because of the long term relationship, but like ick of trying to not let other people know if you're interested in them. That's like ick for self, and then ick for others. Like, do you like it or not if other people are doing it? You know what I mean? Ick for self, ick for others.
Yeah, no, I don't even want to be friends with stand-ups.
That's funny. That's funny.
No, like, yeah, I mean, it's hard, like, when in the brief time I was single over the past like while I was doing
Yeah, let's
comedy-
tap into this. What happened with this 6 months? What do you want to talk about? You don't have to talk
Well,
about.
honestly, it was like I had broken up with my long-term girlfriend in like fall of 2019, and then I was like, "Whoa, I'm going crazy!" And then COVID happened, and then my girlfriend and I like started dating right at the beginning of COVID. So then it was like I probably would have had a longer like wild like lost weekend, but it just didn't last that long. So I wasn't even thinking about dating at the time. I was just horny. Yeah. So yeah, but like yeah, I tend to agree with the like yeah, just wanted I would have wanted to date a good comedian.
Yeah.
Or like a good yeah. But actually probably I was thinking back then like I didn't necessarily want to date someone in comedy.
I personally also like can't compartmentalize well enough to go for the same opportunities as like the person I'm dating. If there were both stand-ups, we're going for the exact same things. That I would find hard to
I
navigate.
do think it'd be nice, like, to have somebody who cares about the same, like, meaningless things as intensely as you. But and then it's like there's.
I think I zoned out
I
for a
don't-
minute. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry if I got lost in thought there. Sorry about that. Hey, what's up? I have been listening for a while, and now I'm like, oh wait, hold on. Sorry.
Please
I don't know
continue.
what I was saying.
You were saying
about
about be
intense.
Sorry,
things.
sorry.
people
Oh.
care
sorry
about
to
the same
interrupt.
specific
I
stuff.
don't think the idea of like dating someone in the scene is a bad idea because what if you break up and you have to see them? I think it's more of like for like the rest of your time, like wherever their career goes and wherever your career goes is gonna like be such like a mental thing that you're dealing with, and that sounds painful and hard. And it's like forget having to see them, like you have to just like have used to cared about this person and then keep having them be a part of your life. That's crazy. It's like the idea of like a mom and a dad divorcing, but they had kids together and now they like always have to see them for like ever because of the fucking kid. And it's like, no, you were actually not supposed to ever talk to that person again, but now you have to.
I guess in terms of like the career comparison thing, like I've never felt, you know what I mean? I've never been like concerned about that or worried
Right.
about that.
I
Like,
mean,
I'm
I
always
think
like
it-
if somebody was doing if I had like an ex who was doing way better, I mean, I don't know if I would care. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
But-
it's also like straight versus like gay. Like, are they the same type of person as you? Where it's like,
True.
I don't think I'd ever be that jealous of like somebody who's nothing like me having success, but somebody who's like me having success. It's like that's where I would compare myself.
I think
Shit.
I've always leaned away from comparison because if my
Because it's the thief
friends,
of joy.
Well, because it's the thief of joy. I've always felt like if my friends are getting things I want, then it means I'm in the right place with
Yeah,
the right
yeah.
people. You know, I try to look at it that way. But I
Rising
guess it's
tide,
different for relationships.
Yeah, that's fair. I think in the relationship, I don't have a hard time like talking about being disappointed or if they got it, or like being able to celebrate the thing, feeling guilty about celebrating it if they didn't get it, whatever, blah blah blah, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But
It's
Not
so
a mature
Mike
person.
Birbiglia's "Don't Think Twice."
I feel as though my personal energy, I think, has shifted. Where I feel as though I'm winding down mentally. So now I'm like, all right, now I'll be able to free you guys pretty soon. Because you're like, when the hell is he going to let us out of here? But I'll say, let's see. I don't have the ick for self for stand-up because I'm like, I think it's, I like it. You know what I mean? I'm like, I am like, I would like people, I guess I'm like, but I know other people don't. Or that in the culture, you see a guy doing stand-up, you're like, he likely sucks as a person and what he's saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, how do I don't know. I want people to look past that for 1 second and see what I'm actually saying. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, yes, I do stand up. Please just look at it for a moment. You know what I mean? You'll see I'm talking about bugs. I don't know.
yeah.
But then again, maybe I don't want them to see the eating bugs material. Depends. But then for others, I like it. I think it's cool. Similar to the talent idea, but it's a talent that I do appreciate. You know what I mean? I don't know. But I also think that maybe that's different from in a hetero or straight way, men to women, women to men, where it's like it's such a male dominated space already. So like it's like when when like some guys doing well, it's like sure, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then like I don't know, when I think when I see women being really funny in this space, I'm like, yes, awesome, cool, good.
I think there's
yeah.
also an element of like I find it less impressive because I've done it. Now, of like I still have a little bit of the brain disease of being like, well, because I've done this, can't be that hard. Because that's now proof that someone can do it. But so when someone has a talent that I don't have, I'm like, that's amazing. That's impossible. How could you do that?
Yeah, I just want to be like Sex and the City or like Friends or like Seinfeld, where it's like, I'm a comedian and my girlfriend or my wife is the top restaurateur.
Oh, yeah.
It's like she it has a chain of shiatsu massage parlors or something.
Freaking yeah, you guys any oh, I'm like what am I doing? I think my energy is lowering. Let's wind this plane down, shall we?
The hot chocolate's wearing off.
Hot chocolate is genuinely wearing off. Do you guys have any plugs? Do you guys have any thank you so much for coming on. Kind of 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
All right.
Thanks for
Okay.
A normal, healthy length.
Can we keep the puppets? Is that the I assume
No,
we don't-
I'll be taking my socks back and wearing them. Yeah, you can keep the socks.
Great discussion. I got to wrap it up there before I just start meandering. We'll go through. Kyle, where can the people find you? You got anything coming up?
Kyle Gordon, and if you live anywhere in North America, come see me on tour this spring.
Woo! Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm at Amelia Please, and my podcast is Girls Rewatch Podcast, and I'm coming to LA for the first time ever doing a show in March, but I'm also here every month doing a show called Girl Church. Follow our meme page at That's Girl Church.
I'm Audrey. I'm at audreym.b, and I do a monthly show in Williamsburg and a weekly show at Flophouse Comedy Club, and you can see me there. Fun.
Yay.
That's what's up.
I'm Sila Puhl. I'm at Sila Puhl on Instagram, SILAPUHL, and I have a show every other month at the Cobra Club.
Yeah. That's our show, folks. I've been out of frame the whole time. Bye.